Futures back to the downside right now. We are still holding on to a slight gain here, but fading fast. We're back to just 0.4% or 0.04%. Coming off of what happened yesterday afternoon. What a move that we got after the market closed, mostly on the earnings from big tech giants, Microsoft, Meta, Google. We'll touch on all three coming up here this morning. Google, an absolute monster to the upside in a huge, huge way, better part of 9% at the highs here for Google. Meta, not so much. CapEx coming in a little bit higher than expected for Meta. It was a little bit of a cautious type of approach as well. So lots to consider on the tech end of things right now. As I mentioned, the market overall coming back in. Just be aware, there is some comments still coming through right now from Scott Bessent talking about this Trump and Xi meeting that apparently went really well. He's saying that they are expecting signatures on some sort of a deal as soon as the end of the week, quote unquote, end of the week. So the market surprisingly shaking that off, going in the opposite direction here. We actually just got Canadian payroll employment as well in August, 3.3 versus 21.6, positive, whatever. Coming on the back of Powell's comments yesterday, I don't think he surprised anyone really. I mean, pointed to the simple fact that they don't really have, valid data to go by at this point. And as we've heard from, it seems like the beginning of time with him, he's all about the data.
Absolutely. He said there's no preset course, Brendo, and that, the rate cut in December is not a foregone conclusion. The market sold off on that. Let's see if it gets bought up again today. Look, there's a whole lot to talk about. The trade deal in South Korea between President Xi and President Trump, the umpteen amount of tech earnings that we got yesterday. So many different names to get through here. Brendo already mentioned the big three. I want to bring your attention as well to CMG, Chipotle down markedly here, 18 2/3%. Market not liking what they're having to offer. Stellantis as well, down aggressively, Brendo, 6 1/3. Carvana keeping the car theme going here, 8.5% in the red. A lot of weakness as we anticipate Apple and Amazon after the bell today.
Yeah, another one downside, Roblox. Monthly numbers coming through for Roblox, a little bit weaker than expected. So, I mean, there are, take your pick, both sides of the equation here. A lot of strength, but also some weakness weighing on the overall market, still continuing this down move right now for the Nasdaq. Anyways, back to session lows and then some here, coming into aftermarket lows even for the Nasdaq. And oh, by the way, the Blue Jays are one win away from a World Series.
What a pitching matchup yesterday.
Historic. Yeah.
He's unreal. Yeah. And he gave up that banger to Kike Hernandez. But that was really his only mistake of the night. And he left that high. But what a dude, man. That splitter
years old.
Is crazy,
Just
Brendo.
unreal.
He's got ice in his veins.
Yeah. Pretty impressive, guys. We're looking forward to Friday. Good morning.
Drafted last year. Yeah, he's drafted. Yeah, he gets paid $57,000 a year.
Beast. Well, his signing bonus was first round pick. He made over $3 million
on the signing bonus. Yeah,
because he was a first round. He was a good. He was a.
But still, his salary $57,000. Blake's now $31, but he's going to get paid huge.
Well, not for a while. He's not, because in baseball they got control of you for 7 years. 7 years of.
But he's not going to make 57 next year.
No. Well, he's not really. He's not really making. The 57 is prorated for how little service time he had, because he made like 3 starts or whatever in regular season. But one win away.
That's right.
Halloween night.
They won both Game 6s, their first 2 World Series.
We're game 16.
Yeah, we're
game
definitely.
16. That's what it's all about.
Oh,
the whole thing is done.
I didn't.
Well, it should not. Okay,
first I noticed it.
The whole thing isn't done, but the picture is done now. And there's no pineapple on that pizza.
I know. I said to Ramina, I was like, you got to put some pineapple on that pizza. I mean, of course, it looks exactly like me and Sharif, So now it's there. So now it's there.
Why are you
but
both
we are missing
winking?
A little bit of Obi action there.
Why are you guys both winking?
What an impressive screen there.
I love it.
Oh, that's an egg coming out of the chicken? Is that what that is on the shoulder?
Yeah.
I was going to tell Mark, I was like, there's like an error in the screen over there, but that's an egg over on Sharif's shoulder.
Flying out of a weird place in the chicken.
Flying out of the chicken. The chicken's egg is going up.
It doesn't even make any. It doesn't have to make sense.
Anyways,
but look, it's
awesome.
A market show. You want it to be going up.
The colors are amazing. I mean, that screen is going to be wicked.
Wait till you see what we do with that. There's so much potential.
We heard yesterday it was 27 by 12 feet.
Yeah, it's insane how big it is.
Those are life-size pictures of us up there.
At some point, we should probably sit on the desk.
There you go, Andre. I think that's how my computer lost power last time.
Well, this thing fell. Like something fell through, like knocked my screen and the cameras got
they knocked all that.
I don't know, there's like a pipe or something, which behind us there's still renovations, or in front of us, I should say, where you guys don't see where all the cameras are. But falling to the downside, well, we'll talk Meta because 16 billion is a lot for a big charge, but I like the rest of the report. But Nvidia is no longer a $5 trillion company as of a couple of minutes ago. So maybe we blame Powell for his comments about slowing things down and taking the air out of some of that December cut. Although it's still better than 50-50. Let's actually double check right now because I haven't seen it since last night. So let's just quickly have a look and see what we have on the FedWatch. Is it really 69%? It's holding that high? I'm just going to hit the old refresh. See, yeah, it is 69%. Yeah, okay. So we were at, what, 83, and then it topped out at 90, where it was seeming like a lock and do some cold water, but there's still 69%. I tend to think it happens, but a little bit of weakness in the market because of it. Bitcoin hopefully hasn't already done the move I wanted short because it's down underneath 110,000, down to 108. Do like that one for fade today.
Okay, I wanted to say, yeah, I mean, you were talking about Nvidia there and the, you know, and the number coming through for them. Well, no number for Nvidia, but down through 5 trillion. Yeah, I mean, Google here up another 8% today. This name just keeps on just ripping. I mean, you know, the fact that this was $140 back, not even in this April low, but kind of like right into here when we started getting going. Obviously, the tariffs was 140, but you had a lot of opportunity to accumulate Google, and it's just been like ripping right to the upside. So one of the best reports there. I said to Joe, as you and Adara were on the show yesterday, I said, wow, Microsoft down to 515. I said, that's probably a buy down there. That's still Google. That didn't last very long. No. That was quickly bought up. So now we'll see if Microsoft can get to green today on their report as well. And then there's 150 million daily active users with Roblox. So if Canada all of a sudden got 4 times our population, that would equal everybody playing Roblox. It's an absolute stud of a name, but heading to the downside. So we're going to dissect this report as well as Roblox. They haven't announced daily active users for a while, but they do it on their report. It used to be a monthly thing, so that was very interesting to see. And then, of course, like I've been throwing cold water on IBIT and on Bitcoin, but it's not that I don't like the asset or anything like that. It's just it's not been performing. And I was talking about that like down here when the Nasdaq is up here and Bitcoin's down here. There's just that little decoupling away from the Nasdaq now, which some traders want. I would not want that. I mean, I think the Nasdaq is amazing and going to be like that for the rest of our lifetime, hopefully. And hopefully Bitcoin can regain that level as well. So Bitcoin on the way down, coming into support once again here of 108. So yeah, get your 108s out and ready to go. I'm not a buyer till much lower now. It's just not reacting very well. Like if the rest of these NASDAQ names miss, you know, like right now the NASDAQ is heading lower and we had 3 of the biggest names. We still have Apple to go, right? We have Amazon to go, and we'll figure out if they can help balance this sort of negative tone that we start the day with here today. So, but yeah, you know, Fed was good, honestly. I mean, it rallied the market to all-time highs yesterday afternoon.
I think after he was gone, it was like, then you got that rally. That IPO is today, the travel one, Navin.
Oh, yeah, that was the other big one, right?
Yeah, it's like $1 billion.
What's the expected price on it?
Yeah, actually, I was just pulling up the article now because I had forgotten that it was the end of the month. Let's see what looks like $25 I'm reading. So $25 a share it's a corporate travel and expense company, Navin. So yeah, we'll see. Like this is not, I don't know if it's in the right sector to be an auto buy at the open. I was just gonna pull up the locator is probably not gonna have it this early. But we've seen it before where it's a NASDAQ stock, right? Yeah, this one actually is NASDAQ, not New York. I kind of like it better when they're on New York because then I feel like we get data a little bit earlier. But NAVN is going to be an IPO today. No idea when it's going to open up. Close to $1 billion. I think it was just a hair under $1 billion that they're raising. $25 is the issue. We'll give updates on it. I don't feel like it's an automatic opening print, but certainly one to watch. But yeah, those earnings after market, And we're saying this in the aftermarket show, and we'll talk about all of these. The difference between Microsoft and Meta was Microsoft pulled into a major moving average, and there wasn't anything that you could point to that you didn't like about the report. Meta did have the question mark about that one charge and then the big miss on the EPS because of it. And I think that's the difference. Like, it bounced off an initial support level here with Meta at the 200-period moving average, but it's not holding that bounce. So if you just bought the 200-period, it was fine in the aftermarket for a bit, but now we're right back underneath.
Yep.
Again, and that's a difference. You couldn't point to anything with Microsoft, but even last night people said, which one would you buy? Like, I have to say Microsoft because there's nothing about it that you couldn't have liked. Let's go back up to the desk. So much to talk about today.
A lot.
And then, there's a bunch of earnings names that aren't even usual things that we trade, like things like Eli Lilly.
Yeah, they're up
with
5%.
Their report this morning's up 5%.
There's actually a lot of different names.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Chipotle.
Chipotle got moked. Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks.
But see, that's the thing. We said that retail is weak.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been saying that for a minute, right? I mean, we saw a bad print from Lululemon. Now you see another one from Starbucks. Now you see another one from Chipotle.
Chipotle's bad.
But Chipotle's been bad for a minute, ever since Chipotle lost that Brian Niccol there. But it's funny because Brian Niccol was Chipotle and moved over to Starbucks, and then they report on the same day. This is it right here. Yeah, down 18.5%. Right now is Chipotle making new lows. We're all the way down here. We cracked way underneath, and then Starbucks, get your lattes ready to go here. As Starbucks down 4%, I thought it was last time I looked. No, back up. Okay, so Starbucks actually battling back. I mean, it was down to $80, now back up to $83 as that morning rush gets caffeinated. With some Starbucks. So, all right, yeah, let's go back over to the desk. I think that's about right. It's 8:41. We have so much to cover.
Yes.
Guest or not today? I'm not sure if we have Luis.
I don't know if we have
but we'll go back over and discuss some of these major plays.
We do.
Yeah, Luis is going to join us here from Spain in a couple of minutes, talk about some small caps, just reading more about Meta. Planning to raise at least $25 billion through a bond sale spanning 5 to 40 years. That's getting underway this morning as well. Nvidia, I just heard as well, just breaking 204 to the downside, which was right there on decent volume. So coming on the back of 5 trillion yesterday, if you remember, we get a little bit of a pullback here, which is kind of interesting because most of what we heard last night is there's more spending to come.
Yep.
Which would, I mean, at least in prior earnings reports or earnings seasons, we've seen that benefit the likes of Nvidia.
Absolutely, Brendo. Just in the Google earnings report alone, they said that they have $155 billion in cloud backlog. Reason is they can't get enough chips. The Amazon layoffs that we saw like a couple of days ago, 20,000 more on that on the midday show, those are not actually layoffs as a result of AI taking people's jobs. It's the backlog that Amazon has that they can't fulfill because they don't have the chips, so they have to maintain margins somehow. So one of their fixed costs, sadly, labor, had to come down. It's a crazy world. But what I wanted to actually know more about, Brendo, was the sort of tie-up between China and the United States yesterday. I thought that, we would have some sort of new deal when it came to chips. Apparently they discussed it, but they didn't discuss it enough so that, that the regulator in China would stop blocking their tech companies from buying the H20. We didn't really hear much about that. So in terms of new areas of revenue for China specifically, I don't think we really got anything we didn't know.
The other thing that was kind of interesting, or I haven't heard anyways, if I'm wrong, correct me, but the TikTok situation. We got a bunch of comments late yesterday on the U.S. side of it and how things were coming to a conclusion, or according to the U.S. side of it, coming to a conclusion for them. But I was kind of wanting to hear at least the China side of it as well. But nothing at this point. Anyway.
They said they were looking to work with the United States on it, but they didn't give any details. So as you said, what's funny? What I always love is that the American or the North American media likes to challenge Chinese facts. Oh, they maybe, they don't really give us the right numbers. But when President Trump announces something, they go and they confirm it to see if the Chinese said it. Well, which is it? Are you actually believing what the Chinese have to say, or are you not? So, interesting take.
We'll see what happens with TikTok as well coming up over the next couple of days and weeks here. As mentioned, let's bring in Luis Barbato over in Barcelona, Spain, talk about some high flyers this morning. All kinds of them. Once again, Luis, good to see you as always. One of those weeks where with big tech reporting, with the Fed yesterday, a lot of attention, a lot of eyes elsewhere, but still tons of action so far in small cap land.
Yeah, thank you, Brendan. That's one of the reasons we always trade the small caps. There is chances every day. There are setups and plays every day, no matter if we have Fed or earnings or whatever. We always, or most of the days, we can narrow down to 3, 4, 2, 5 tickers to trade a nice setup. So yeah, sometimes the volume just shifts to some earnings if there are very, very big plays. But, you know, if there are 2 or 3 small caps trading and moving up 100%, they don't really care about the overall markets.
All right, let's get right into a few names here. We'll jump over to your screen first. I want to make sure we get to rare earths because that was one of the topics that was discussed between China and the U.S. in this conversation overnight. So give me your top picks here so far.
Yeah, this is something important you say. You always have to be aware of the hot sectors, and rare earth was one of them for the last couple of weeks because the negotiation with China and all this. So be aware that the sector is very hot, and any ticker that jam, it will have a lot of sympathy plays with the names that they are not yet running up, but they will do it some time. They just delay because they don't have volume or whatever. So be aware of hot sectors. That's first. And we will narrow down to 3 tickers today. The 3 you have here up on our gap up scanner. First one is CMBBM. This is a crazy stock, very, very interesting to analyze yesterday and today, of course. Yesterday we have a gap up, pre-market running a lot, and this is a very nice setup for the day traders in small caps. You have a huge gap up, and during the day it loses volume, but it doesn't lose a lot of price levels, price action. So once it reclaims the VWAP and close over the pre-market highs, we have a runner. We have a crazy runner, probably parabolic. Every short, it's stuck here. And also because it was a halt fest, it was halted every 15 cents that it moves with volume. We have a very, very tricky situation for the shorts and very ambitious situation for the long. So shorts were stuck, and we knew this aftermarket was going to run. Today we have a second day. It's different. We have failed this resistance in $7 with a little bit of wick here to push shorts out. So today the play is different. If we start to lose volume, we will look for shorts once it breaks this bottom 555. No matter if you are late in this trade, the stock has moved from 0.5 to $5. So it's better be late. The length is going to be very, very long.
All right, another one that has popped up after the close yesterday, given basically everything back already here this morning, ARBB, very, very low float on this thing, made a run to $10 up here at the highs after the close. Again, we're sitting at $7 right now. In a case like this where you get something that's on the lower end, you're already shaking your head, already on the lower end of the scale as far as volume is concerned, but you know, holding a level on the way back down. How do you approach something like that?
Yeah, we won't trade this one. Just because if you see the range where it is not interesting. It's far from previous highs of previous day. It's in the middle. It's not breaking higher. It's not breaking lower. It doesn't have like historical volume. It had some volume yesterday and a couple of days ago, but we are here in the middle, so not that interesting stock. This stock, I haven't checked the stats, but I remember it has a lot of red close probability. So if it runs up, just go short. The stats are on your side. Yeah? The bet is pretty safe. You can see a lot of days that it's up and down, up and down, up and down. So when you see this kind of chart that is popping up 30% or 50%, and the day it closed down in the day, you go short pretty aggressive. All the short shares are pretty aggressive on this stock. So don't long on this stock if the stock start to goes up, no matter if it looks very strong, but it will go down during the day. But it's not one of stock we will trade because of the area it's trading right now.
All right, let's go on to rare earths. As we mentioned, one of the topics that was discussed by the U.S.-China meeting overnight. All of these kind of looking like this. That's MP materials right now. So we're gapping higher. 15-minute chart. We're coming into a few days worth of resistance here. Again, more up the scale as far as market cap is concerned here with a news catalyst. So a little bit different idea here.
Yeah, when you trade sectors, you have to take two approach. Do you want to play the hottest stock of the day mainly, or do you want to do sympathy plays? So check, monitor the hottest stock of the day with volume, but trade the other ones if they are delayed or not. That's the main point when we trade sectors.
So when it comes to individual names in this group here, is there one or two maybe that are catching your attention here?
Yeah, today we'll trade also INTS. This is gapping up 200% with 200 already volume pre-market with a float of 40 million. And this is very important, the kind of behavior you see is a sub-dollar ticker. And when it's a dollar ticker, you have to check a few things. First, if it's under the regulation of, so let's say if the company has to recover $1 to follow the rules of Nasdaq, so don't get delisted, right? This is very important. Check how many days they are left to close above $1. And after that, they have to trade, I think it's 10 days over $1 to keep listed on Nasdaq. This is very important because if they have few days to trade over $1 to close the day over $1, they will push it there. Okay, so this is the first thing you have to check. And then what were the sympathies with similar play of this price action? And we had 2 days. We have XHLD. Look at this. It went up to 85.90 cents, but on the same day, they pushed it lower. And we have the other case was Codex. They didn't manage to hold one level enough days to avoid the rule of Nasdaq. And there was a push up. And the day after, they push it down. So what we expect today of INTS is not going to work. They're going to push it somewhere near 1. If they hold it, we will be patient, but if it fails, we'll go short and probably all the way down. So it's very important to analyze how similar behaviors, similar plays on price action as well.
Good example there, that chart, a good example of this group specifically, and you mentioned it right off the top, a reason why you guys take a look at these on a daily basis. The market continuing to fade off here. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15-minute candles in a row to the downside here right now for the Nasdaq. Some of these small caps we're looking at, Luis, not even blinking at that so far.
Yeah, the last ticker you will have to check is VCIG. This one is $4 on only 1 million float, but the probability of dilution is pretty high. So find good levels to go short and wait, be patient. So maybe you get an offering or ATM and you are short on the short side and taking huge profit.
Luis, great stuff as always. Best of luck today. Lots of themes to consider, lots of things to look at. Always good inputs. Thanks for doing this once again.
Thank you very much to you guys. Have a nice day.
Thank you there, Luis. And you might have noticed on that scanner that Luis had, MBRX just showed up there in the middle of it.
There it goes.
And this stock wasn't breaking and now is. So a lot of what was just said about penny stocks, this one going to fall into play. Not quite as much volume as the last one, because that one will do like 1 billion shares, but up to 5 million. This one pushing 70 cents as it is also breaking out. See, today you got everything. You got earnings plays, you've got penny stock gappers, you got crypto moving, you got the market because of the Fed, and we'll have some upgrades and downgrades and maybe an options look from Joe.
Yeah, let's go, Joe.
Always an options look. Happy Thursday, everyone. Let's get this party started. Go Jays, go, a big W last night. But all right, guys, what do we got on the upgrades and downgrades? Let's start it off with some Coinbase. Yeah, we'll get to the big boys momentarily. By H.C. Wainwright getting that price target raised to $425. Now, Form Factor by Citigroup up nicely on the session, 14%. Price target raised to $62. Now, Warner Brothers, Rothschild & Company, $28 is going to be that price target. Now, Google reporting after the bell yesterday, putting up some monster gains. $300 by JP Morgan is going to be that price target, up 8%, over 8% on the session. We're going to be keeping our eyes on this one. Now, Starbucks getting that downgrade by Citigroup. Meta Platforms almost on SSR, down to almost 10%, 9.4%, guys. Oppenheimer lowering that from an outperform to a perform. Now, Pfizer, we seen that yesterday, taking it on the chin, down 2.3% on the session, lowering that target to $80 by TD Cowen. And then Boeing by Deutsche Bank, lowering it to $240, down almost 1% on the session, guys. Now let's take a look at some of the options activity. Yesterday, we had the FOMC rate decision, and with that, we want to take a look at a couple of the major averages and some of the volume and open interest coming in through those levels. Now, we're going to look at SPY, but this is yesterday's expiration. I just want us to look at the open interest. There is a substantial amount there. Those might be rolling over this week. Volume still relatively light. Now, as for the Qs, guys, 26,000, that's going to be expiring tomorrow, 26,700, with open interest around 14,600. And then we have the Rus IWM with volume 34,700, open interest 19.9 at that 250 strike price. And on the Qs, that's going to be at that 636 there, guys. Now, as for some average options activity, we got Google, once again, as I mentioned, reported after the bell yesterday. That's going to be tomorrow's expiration cycle. Substantial open interest, and that volume is really, really high there, guys. Bid $2, ask $217 with that delta 0.163, and the gamma relatively light. But what you need to keep your eyes on is that at the money IV sitting around 109%, guys.
Thank you, Joe. Always, what a great addition to our show here, because we don't talk about options enough because we don't have them on our platform.
True.
But Neil and I will trade equity only, and that doesn't mean that we won't trade, you know, stuff like Bitcoin with IBIT or futures with the Qs or TQQ or some of these lower cap names that aren't even option eligible, some of these dollar names and things like that. So, but thanks, Joe, for all of that, and especially with earnings season right here, value in writing because of the volatility, right? I mean, even last night, I think the only name that's outperforming its volatility, its expected move, I think is Google, right? What?
Well, to the upside, anyway.
No, but even both ways. What is Meta?
Of the big ones, you mean? No, Meta was bigger. To the,
was
Meta
it? Okay, they're both about 7 or 8%, I thought,
yeah,
right?
Meta went
okay, yeah. Now Meta, Meta's actually, Meta just went S. Not with a U in front of it, SSR.
You do not see that happen very often.
Sharif is clapping. Sharif, man. What are you doing over there?
Eat a man, we want to get it cheap, baby.
Yeah. I want to buy the dip as well, but I mean, I'm not.
I don't own it.
I like Meta. I was actually looking through the portfolio last night, and I have to get a spreadsheet going because I have to figure out what weighting I have in all of these names, because it's not something that I've updated in the last 6 or 8 months, probably even the last year, just because of all these crazy movements, right? Like whatever position you had in Meta right now is the other way, and Google, right? It's like you may even need to even just reposition even today. One is up 10%, one is down 10%. So trying to think about, riding the winners, buying more of the winners, selling, getting out of maybe some of the losers, and then looking over at the quarters and saying like, okay, was it, like as you said, was it that bad?
I thought Microsoft was pretty good.
Right.
Like,
I mean, just their number, I guess the Azure number was a little, I don't know.
It was over 40% growth.
Yeah, no, I wonder what was in the report that caused the algos to do this?
Nothing. But someone in the chat mentioned that I don't know, it was an analyst said it's like an A+ student getting an A for Microsoft.
Yeah. Well, that's probably. Well, when you're priced to perfection, that's my. Okay. Yes, Randy. Eat that pear.
Damn. Yes, sir.
Yes, Dad.
Yes, sir.
I used to love my my grandparents, my Italian ones, used to have a pear tree in their backyard. So it was just like.
Oh, that'd be the.
No. It was. These ones are good because they're little soft. I like the softer ones.
Yeah, but these are not ripe yet.
But they're not super ripe, but they're ripe enough.
The Bartlett pears are the ones.
Bartlett pears.
That's the ones you want.
Let it sit a bit.
Yeah, but anyways, those are pretty good. We haven't had pears here for a minute, have we? Or you just haven't brought them to us?
No bananas.
Oh, no bananas.
They got so small they just disappeared.
Okay.
Bananas.
I know you're hyped up about Trey Savage. Every time I run into you, you're all about this Trey Savage guy. I mean, quite amazing, man. 12 strikeouts, rookie record, one of the best games pitched in a World Series, period.
Forget about
rookie. Take the word rookie out of there.
Yeah.
12 Ks.
You got Blake Snell. Blake Snell pitched fine. The bats obviously aren't doing anything, and it's.
If you take out those 2 home runs, Snell was actually pretty good.
But I think it's true of good pitching beats good hitting, right?
Yeah,
it usually does.
When you throw three pitches and you get 2 home runs out of it.
Oh, well, yeah, Schneider started. I mean, Schneider hasn't even let off once this playoffs, I don't think. And then he did, and he hits a bomb. Anyways, the Blue Jays, it's back-to-back. 92-93 is when we won, and it was in Game 6. Both of those series, one away in Atlanta, one home to Philly, and Friday night, is another opportunity to do something similar.
I'll be a bucket.
We're excited. I mean, look how old this logo is right here. This is like the year 2000 jersey, I think.
Yeah, Vernon Wells.
Vernon Wells, another great name.
Vernon Well days.
Yeah, Vernon Delgado days.
He was like those were Jays that didn't get a chance to experience.
That's what I was saying
win.
too.
Like they were legend Jays, but never got a chance.
Like
to
Delgado.
Delgado, unbelievable.
I mean, the guy's crushing.
But because the
no one
Jays
even knows
were
who he
never
is.
good when he played with them.
I know.
Roy got to get away and win one with Philly, but
Roy, yeah, that's. Oh, I forgot that he won
was
with
it.
Philly. Okay, at least he got one.
Shoot, there was a few super chats. I don't know if we got to.
Probably. Well, we didn't get to any of them.
I'm gonna use the other one too. Hold on a second.
Oh, David said something. Go Jays.
Yeah, I was.
Thanks, David, for that one.
Thank you for that one. But there was a different one.
Oh, there we go. Is that one?
Oh, David. Anyone else see if Google, if you click, you get to play Pac-Man?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually. Well, the funny thing is when you sent that, I didn't know, so I kind of went over there and was like, oh,
you got it. Is it the Halloween
tap
one?
to unpause and.
Oh, push spacebar. Sometimes that's no. Okay.
Oh, well, that's a fail.
Google has those little.
Yeah, they do it all.
Easter eggs.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not.
There it is. It just says game start. There,
I'm not gonna
got it.
actually
do it. There we go.
I'm gonna
All right, Neil. Let's see. Go ahead. Let me see what happens here. Go.
Oh,
Where are you? Ready?
This is ready. It hasn't happened.
What?
It's waiting.
There we go. There we go. They must be having some cloud issues.
Yeah.
All right. There we go, Neil. Get that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. This is not as exciting as I thought.
It's not
but you
that
did very, very, very,
Whoa.
very good job. What? What do you mean? Why do we run?
Because like, have you
Don't you know how
never
to play
played
Pac-Man, Joe?
before?
Joe's
Joe?
like, don't run into those guys. Joe, he got the star or whatever it is.
Come on.
This guy doesn't eat pie. Doesn't know how Pac-Man works. I'm not sure about this guy anymore.
I just like killing.
There we go. Get him, Neil. Neil, go get those guys. You got a great opportunity here.
What is telling me? Yo, my thing is choppy. By the way.
That's okay.
I should restart. I should restart
that
this
was fun.
PC at some point.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
No, that was not as responsive as it should be. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Thankfully, I don't actually need those keys too much. But no,
anyway,
I know there was another super chat, but we'll probably get to that in a quick little bit. It's 9 o'clock, so we got to get to the options. Thoughts on where Microsoft goes today? Congrats, Jays.
Well, there we go.
I like Microsoft's report. It's the market I'm concerned about, not Microsoft. But if Microsoft pulls back into that low, to me, that's a buy. Like as far as I'm like.
My first idea was short the market, but now it's gone. It's.
Well, that's the problem. Like Bitcoin made the exact move on the chart that I was kind of hoping for, but it's already happened. But Microsoft, if you look at that daily, I mean, come on, 50 period on the daily. I'm a fan. I just don't know. I just don't think you get back there. Like it's possible. I just don't think you get back there.
Also, I know we got to go back. I just want to say, like, the sky is actually not falling. Like, I mean, anybody that's really that nervous about all of this, this is what's just happened in the Nasdaq. So I know there's a lot of people saying they're in cash. If you were in cash from yesterday, then that's great. Yeah, but like if you've been in cash at any point through here, it hasn't been great, but I am thinking that heading into earnings, that is a strategy. And I want to say shout out to all the people that do that because, you know, get out of your stocks, wait to see how they perform, and then after the dust settles, either get back in or pick your winners or pick your losers. Yeah. So I do say a big shout out to those of you that are sitting on a bunch of cash because, I mean, you are going to get buy the dip opportunities.
And now you can deploy.
As you heard Sharif mention, you know, hoping that Meta can get to levels where there's buy zones. And I think we're all hoping for that, right? I mean, we have Bitcoin back here at 108 and, you know, more discussion to happen. As there's monster earnings tonight, man. We got Coinbase, like, so that's going to be a big one. We got Apple, Amazon, Reddit you talked about. Strategy, MSTR going through tonight, Lumen Technologies tonight. Many names that a lot of traders may be interested in that are waiting for dip buy opportunities or confirmation from the report that they are the one, right? Like now Google, like imagine Google and Microsoft 2 years ago when Microsoft stepped in and bought OpenAI or made a stake in OpenAI, 30 billion or whatever, 30 million I think it was at that time. You know, everyone was like, oh my God, Google's getting left behind and so on and so forth. And then what a difference a day makes here today. One going one way, one
pretty sure also, I know we're going to get to this in a second. I'm pretty sure, we were talking about this last night, Meta should, and we'll double check when they update PEs. No, but Meta should be cheaper, now trading at a cheaper PE than potentially.
In Google? No, I don't think so.
The thing is you have to, it's how you work the EPS. If you do the adjusted, taking away the one-off cost, then it should be true. If you don't, then obviously it won't be true.
The thing, 27?
Still 27?
Still
Okay,
too
so
high.
not yet, not
the
yet.
thing
not
about
yet.
Google, but that might not be including today's. But the thing about it is too, you also got to push up Google's numbers.
Yeah, of course.
So the PE will float maybe equally with the price.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because their earnings are huge.
It was close, depending on which number you look at for Meta. Which, by the way, we'll talk about as we go into.
Google was a buy at 18 PE.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know.
It was under 20. Now I think it's in the mid to high 20s.
All right. Well, obviously we can continue to talk forever. So poor Brendan and Sharif over there.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
You know. All right. Let's go over to the two smartest guys here, Brendan and Sharif.
All right, guys, 69.23. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES December contract. I want to bring your attention to this gap over here. This includes overnight highs, so this gap is real. Now, we could be looking to fill that gap if we continue bleeding. The first level of support, we're going to look at that gap opening area, 68.75. That's where we gapped up a few days ago. If we continue to bleed below that gap, we're dropping into 68.50 to 68.25, Brendo. That's where we fill the gap.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab that. Absolutely free. Every single morning comes right to your inbox. Link is below in the description. Top link will get you to the sign-up page. All you need is your email. There's tons to get through this morning. I mean, we'll go through these one at a time here, but starting off with Meta, the big three from last night anyways, top of the list here, starting off with Meta. I mean, there's so much to understand here. At the end of the day, it was more about the CapEx. We'll touch on this with Google as well. And we sat here yesterday, and I said this right off the bat. You know, you mentioned the simple fact that are they going to come out and say we're spending more again next year? And that is the case.
Yeah, and sometimes the market rewards you for spending, Brendo. Sometimes they make you pay. Remember with Reality Labs. And this is one of the times that they're not very happy about it. But let's talk about the report. They beat both on the top and bottom line easily. EPS 725. The street was looking for 669. On revenue of $51.25 billion, the street was looking for less than 49.5. So easy beat there. But the shares dropped aggressively as a result of an almost $16 billion one-time tax charge, which offset the strong report. The tax stems from President Trump's new One Big Beautiful Bill Act, but Meta said going forward, the actual Big Beautiful Bill will reduce the U.S. cash tax payments for both 2025 and beyond. Their Q3 revenue did grow 26%. Let's talk about the guide here. They're guiding Q4 revenue of between 56 to 59 billion. That's above the midpoint with their total 2025 expenses now, Brendo, as you mentioned, 116 to 118 billion. That's up from the previous guide. Now, one of their biggest things, of course, is their daily active users. That's how they make money on advertising. Daily active users, Brendo, 3.54 billion users across all apps, with advertising revenue coming just shy of $50.1 billion.
We'll touch on Google, as I mentioned, coming up here, but Meta above Google on the spending side of things. Just seeing a note here, Tesla has yet to complete all paperwork necessary to start offering robotaxi rides in Arizona and Nevada, according to the information. Ouch. So Tesla downside here in a pretty big way. I mean, the overall market continuing in that direction as well. But thoughts here, guys. Meta still falling.
Come on, Tesla, get that paperwork in.
Yeah, do that paperwork. Everyone loves the paperwork.
I hate paperwork.
Which I'm sure is all digital, obviously.
My taxes come back yet, or what?
That did take a while.
It's just a funny joke.
It did take a while
Yeah,
for
some funny jokes happening here.
No, but we had some strikes and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, I think there still is a postal.
There's the postal.
Are they still striking around here? I don't know.
I don't even know.
Anyways, there's Meta. As
you don't usually see 10% down for a name like this. So like by absolute default, somewhere at some point today, if this opens under 10%, I'm going to look for an SSR bounce. On the higher time frame, though, this is, we said last night, it was different from Microsoft in that, again, you could point to that one-off for sure. It's threatening underneath the 200-period moving average. It'd be key to see if we can close above that. If we don't, then it's not unreasonable. Like, I mean, stink bidding, like in the next couple of days, if we hold underneath the 200-period moving average, I am going to stink bid in the 620 level because the rest of the report was good. Like that revenue was fantastic in terms of growth year over year, more than a 25%. But ball don't lie at the end of the day. So it doesn't matter what we think. It's dropping right now. There's no obvious place that I could come up with where it's like, oh, this is the price that I think will have the first potential bounce. So basically every $5 or so, I'm going to look for some kind of a bottoming tail candle or a trend reversal. Because if it does one of those to VWAP, I think if you can snag that, then you're good to go. And because it's SSR, I'll be looking for that. But this is definitely let it settle for a couple of days before adding to it in the long term. I bought it in March. I intend on buying after this quarter. I just don't think I'll do it today.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't want to step in and do anything right now, but down 10% is quite a violent move, and I think if we go back in history, you're going to find this is going to be one of the bigger moves down for Meta, and it's funny because it was actually performing well heading into the print, right? Like we had made a base, we had bounced off there, we took out the 50-period moving average, and then it was quite a dramatic move, right? Right back into the 200 period. So. If you're looking to add to your position, I think this is not a bad spot to say, okay, you know what, like I've been raising some cash. It's a little more attractive today than it was yesterday, and I don't mind the name. Buy some here. I'm wondering if we do get into this 640, 650 area. So I think it's a little bit worth of a nibble here today in the long term. But as far as trading, I just put the sticky note out. Every idea on here is short. So if we're getting that feels for the market, then I don't want to try to pick longs. I just want to look short. And we always say when there's a gap, which there obviously is one, and when it's more than the expected move. I mean, yesterday's expected move here.
6.
Yeah, was it 6 only? Yeah, I was just going to double check it. There's the Jays. 1 win away. We put this out last night when I was looking at the Google numbers. I was like, what the heck? But it was right into here. Yeah, so as Neil said, expected move 6.9. Oh, the prior move was 11. So we actually had an 11% move last time, but that was upside. So yeah, you're performing well to the downside. Now, so this move probably continues. So whenever there is a gap, we always say look to that VWAP, which would be 680-ish. So if you're going to get a move back up to 680, which makes sense, right where we started to sort of dive, we tried to get back and dove again. I like 680 or so for a short. I mean, the ultimate short right now is 682, but by the time VWAP is actually here when the market opens in 20 minutes, we probably are downside. So yeah, no longs for me to catch a Meta here today, unless it's a dramatic whoosh. Like if we go down 15%, something like that, and it looks like it wants to bottom, then I think you can catch a monster long. But if it's just going to drift, for me, no. I'm going to wait for a pop and short, as they say. A couple traders around here used to say short the pops. So we'll wait.
I think his name was Rob.
What was his name?
Rob?
I remember you always saying
the guy that opened the restaurant after he traded.
Oh, that guy? Oh,
that guy. Is his name Rob?
His name's not Rob.
I was a trainee, and there was a full-time trader when I was a trainee that used to. I remember, and he would.
I know the guy you mean.
The guy I'm thinking about.
He's an Italian guy. I know who he is.
He used to say short the pop, short the pop. I think it was that guy.
Oh, that's where it's from. But that was literally 20 years ago, at least.
Yeah, that's why I don't remember the names that well. I remember
maybe
a few trader ideas. Like I remember Rocolo.
Oh, Rocolo.
So
yeah, well, Rocolo. I mean, you have a name like Rocolo.
His trader ID was Rocolo.
Yeah. Well, his first name was Robin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where's Batman? All right, let's go over to our own Batman and Robin. I just don't know which one is which.
Good question. Let's go to Google here, continuing a bit of a pullback, but still up nicely on the morning after an absolute monster report. I mean, we're well off the highs now. It's a better part of 9% at the highs. Here's an average of 10 opinions saying it's still going to be 22% higher here. Alphabet.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. This thing is going to take 300. I was telling you off camera, I think Google overtakes Apple next year in terms of market cap. Just my call. No, just speculating here. Yeah. Look, Brendo, it was a good report. It was fantastic. You can probably tell by the price action. Q3 revenue, guys, $102.3 billion versus the 99.89. So an easy beat there on EPS of 310, beating the 233 expected, and then some. Net income, oh my goodness, almost $35 billion in profit in take-home money, which is up from 26.3. So a marked increase year over year. That's all despite the $3.5 billion EU antitrust fine that they had to stomach. Now their advertising revenue, which is their core business, $74.18 billion, up from $65.85. YouTube ad sales, I know this is a number you keep your eye on, Brendo, $10.25 billion for YouTube ad sales. But the Google Cloud now, I mean, it's the fastest growing cloud of the three. $15.15 billion, up 35% year over year, easily topping estimates. And they're saying now cloud, Brendo, has $155 $25 billion backlog that they can't meet. That's revenue that they're unable to realize because they don't have enough chips. And they're saying 70% of their cloud clients are using Gemini as well. So infiltration.
Everyone has been questioning how AI will eventually, I mean, again, we're looking in the past. This is an earnings report for the past. Everyone's been questioning the simple fact that AI is going to negatively impact the search number for Google. Not the case, 15% to the upside. So
exactly.
This is the second, I want to say, quarter in a row we've seen that number specifically tick higher, which is still in Google's court, guys.
I mean, I was like, okay, we're going to be happy. They put a 3 in front of that cloud growth, then you'll be happy with it. And then it's like 35. And Microsoft, which we'll get to in a second, was 41%. Like, come on. Like, that's another reason why Microsoft thought was a good report. But I don't think we'll get a 300 break. The market doesn't seem strong enough for it. I kind of had in the note that like if it's going to do it, I'd probably take a shot at it. This is the one, for me, that is worth the shot to look for a bounce along. Like, is in, not like a gimmick SSR play, but like some kind of a structural long. It's going to have to hold 292 because like that's like that little top area and then pre-market lows here, that 92. If we're not holding that, I don't want to fight the stock, but if it can hold at the open range, this would be the one stock that I want into that long side. You can't really point to anything that was bad here. And then Sean said, it's still going to be relative to all of the Mag 7, it's still going to be a very, very relatively solid, I don't want to call it cheap, but solid P, even when that gets reset. So yeah, I want it to hold on to 92. It's the one thing at the open, if you see me in a long, it would probably be that one.
All right, I crashed one of my charts trying to fix the wick deal, so now I have to put this back in here and edit it and fix it up one more time. Yeah, okay, so look, we talked about Google a couple times here, and I really like the stock. Obviously, this is not going to change for me now. All right, yeah, I mean, they just went over all the numbers. Just looking at this, it is drifting down. The 200 period moving average has always been my friend. So I think we're going to look for that around 290 here. I am short the market bias, so it's going to be tough to say, like, let's just hammer this long. I do love a 300 break. I mean, we hit Palantir. Actually, Palantir broke 200 yesterday, but just barely. But we love those kind of breaks, right? We had the Nvidia break, and we now have Google potentially breaking 3 bills. So that's going to be something to look for if the market does rebound. It's only $5 away from that level. It's not, even though we are trending down, if the market blasts up, it's going to be on the back of big names, and that biggest name today is going to be Google, up another 7.5%. So again, beating expectations barely, and now heading higher. I like it. Any dips were bought yesterday. I feel like dips will be bought today. So for me, it's a 200 period dip buy situation. And if we can do it at 290, I think that would be fine. But yeah, I think we'll sit here around 292. And remember yesterday when Tesla went whoosh and we had our 260 level, but then the minute it broke 260, we got out at like 259.75 or something. That's pretty similar to what I'd be thinking here. And I would use 290 as that crutch, only because it's an even dollar level. We've never been up here for Google. This is brand new, all-time levels here. So, picking where support's gonna be is not a game that I'm liking to play today. So I'm going to wait to see if it gives me some kind of a balance, right? And I feel like it's gonna be in and around 290. So that brings this thing down another $4 or $5. We've already dropped 4 here. Give us another 4 and then rip up. So let's wait to see if that winds up happening here. Or let's just take 300 long. I will take that trade. So that would be the first long maybe today for me. Either a Google dip buy where we can see levels, so just stay here and I'll be on it. I'm sure we both will be. And also a $300 take on Google. I mean, you could go long at 299.50, and then when it breaks 300, you're already in it. I'm going to wait to see what happens. There's probably millions of shares up there. So let's give it a breath here for Google, not get in right away. The market is obviously heading to the downside. So let Google breathe a bit and see if it wants that 300. And if it does, man, it's like that movie, The 300, we got to go hard. We got to go hard at that level. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening there. And if we're wrong, we can get out at VWAP. So that's the plan of action for me on Google.
Tesla is
noting ECB following suit with the comments we heard from both the Bank of Canada and the Fed yesterday, basically saying anything going forward is up in the air at this point on policy. There was an ECB meeting this morning as well. Microsoft downside here with the overall market as well. This was just one of a few cautious comments saying when it comes to the cloud side, could be higher, quote unquote, could be higher, was from the CFO. And this on the back of what we just talked about with Google saying cloud was just an absolute monster. So Microsoft is short on capacity, it seems, for Azure.
They all are, Brendo. They can't get enough chips. I mean, everybody's complaining about it. But as you mentioned earlier, the CapEx thing in focus again, because CFO Amy Hood said capital expenditures will accelerate this fiscal year, of course, to meet AI infrastructure demand. And that didn't have the market very happy about that because the report was quite good. Let's talk about that report. Their earnings, Q1 EPS coming in at 372 ahead of the 367 on revenue of 77.67 billion ahead of the 75.33, and also an up 18%, a healthy increase year over year. They did record, Brendo, a one-time $3.1 billion hit to net income. It's tied to its OpenAI investment. Let's talk about that investment over here. So the company reaffirmed its exclusive compute partnership with OpenAI, which recently completed a $130 billion restructuring to grant Microsoft a 27% stake valued at $135 billion. And separately, Brendo, I was listening to Squawk Box this morning. Apparently, probably you're not going to be shocked about this, but OpenAI is getting ready to file for an IPO likely next year. They're saying not early next year, but likely next year. And guess what the valuation is, Brendo? $1 trillion. There it is.
1 trillion with a T,
yeah,
potentially for OpenAI, which would just be just insane. No words. I mean, it could be worse, guys. It's 2.8% right now to the downside for Microsoft. Could be a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's
the word for me would just be long on OpenAI. So we'll wait for when that happens. There,
that IPO is that's an auto take the opening print.
Yes, yes.
And you know what? If
how could we not?
If that's the one that burns you, then
that's the one
you have to just grit your teeth and take it, because when it happens, it's going to be way too big of an event. Look, Microsoft, last time they were at $500 before earnings, they went to $550 and then pulled back to like $490. And this time they were at $500 recently and went to $550 and pulled back. I think if it gets back down there, you buy it again. So, but as for today, like, I'm not planning on trading Microsoft today. Like, if you think it'll revisit the 510 and want to look short on that one, fair enough. I think there's better shorts than the guys who got an A instead of an A+, in my opinion. And I don't have a better time to talk about this. We have 10 minutes left. One of them is on IBIT, which ultimately I was a little bit surprised. Like, I liked the 63 level in the afternoon. I was surprised to see it close back down there, and I don't think we get there again. So I'm looking at the obvious places. The prior low is VWAP at 62. There's the 62.5, and there's 63 on IBIT. It makes it very simple. I'm looking at 3 places to try a pop and fade there. And Johnny Capo, you've been day trading consistently since the pandemic, and I have to say the TraderTv.live has become a staple in my morning routine, and absolutely love it. Keep up the good work, excellent content. Thank you so much, Johnny, and congratulations to you for sticking it out for, I mean,
great job.
Like 5 years. Wow, that's great. 5 years. Because we came to YouTube in the beginning of 2020, beginning of COVID. Yeah.
So, well, we're glad that we're part of your morning routine. I mean, both of us work hard to try to give you guys, well, all of us here work hard, and especially that morning note. Want to thank Sharif, want to thank Kadira for all that's changed everything. IBIT here for my morning note is a short, same kind of levels here, 62 to 62.50. So we're going to look for that. The only problem is, I think we're a little far away from getting those fills. So 200 period VWAP, that's why I said it's between 62 and 62.50. So if we do make a little bit of a move up, that's what we want to get for IBIT in and around that area. I mean, it's not performing well. It's actually been really bad, Bitcoin, like pretty bad. The high was 72, you're back down into 61, so you're down like 15, 16% from the highs. That's pretty bad. Imagine the Nasdaq was down 15% here. We would be, well, we wouldn't be closing the shop, but that would be, a lot of people would be pretty upset. So if all your money's in Bitcoin, which obviously it's not, most people aren't, hopefully that, saturated. Oh, okay, that's why Joe's crying in the back. I was wondering why Joe was crying in the back over there. No, I don't have to choose my words wisely because it's statistical truth. It's just, it sucks to be all in crypto right now. Do I think that it's a bad trade moving forward? Of course not. But right now, it's getting those downside pushes, right? And so I'm just saying if the Nasdaq's going to fall down, unfortunately, it looks like, and I wish there was People didn't want Nasdaq and Bitcoin to be coupled.
I don't want it to be coupled.
I want it to be coupled because I'm a Bitcoin bull. And I think there's nothing better than the tech business right now.
I actually
I think if they were coupled, then Bitcoin would be at 125.
I want it to act in some ways as government spend more money and Bitcoin appreciates.
That's what we all want.
And leave it at that. Because
Right.
if that's true, then it's like can't lose, baby. But it's not that right now. I think there'd be less downside.
That's what I'm saying. Like I wish there was something that we could, peg Bitcoin's performance to. And if you guys know, then let us know, because I want to know when to get longer on this name, but it's not now as far as I know. All right, what's up, Fabian? Let's go back over to the desk. We have a couple more stories and then 5 minutes to go.
Starbucks not necessarily the most exciting this morning. We are back to the upside right now after early morning fade off there with the overall market. I mean, a lot to talk about as far as the earnings goes. The forecast a little bit on the weak side. I have a bone to pick with protein foam.
Oh, I've heard about this. You get like 30 grams, Brendo. That's a substantial amount.
Protein foam.
Look, I haven't tried it yet, so I can't vouch for it.
This is what we're doing now?
You know my affinity for protein, but
come on, man.
I gotta try it first.
I don't need protein foam in my coffee. Like,
yeah, you can just have a protein
shake with the protein foam.
Everybody's super protein, low carbs now. I don't know, man, what to think about this. Look, guys, they beat on the top line. They missed on the bottom line. 52 pennies EPS, missing the 56. They continue to see early progress under the new CEO, especially when you're looking at customer experience metrics. Now, global same-store sales rose 1%, topping expectations. U.S. comps were flat but turned positive in September and October. Also, the rollout of this new program they have called the Green Apron Service is boosting speed, with 80% of stores achieving 4 minutes or less goals. China same-store sales rose 2%, but there is a decline in the average spending, which was picked up by a higher ticket price. They closed 627 stores, Brendo, and they say they're likely to see margin improvement as a result.
And they should get rid of protein foam, guys.
I can't believe these are the last two people that I thought would be complaining about protein.
I wasn't aware of this.
That's the whole thing.
I'd give it a try.
It's actually, yeah, why not? I mean,
I would give it a try.
You can either have it in your coffee or you could have 10 eggs or whatever.
Yeah, I'd give it a try.
I think Tim Hortons has it. I know that much. Yeah, they have protein shakes.
Why not?
Tim Hortons has this already.
I got to tell you this about Starbucks, though. There's a few things that kind of look like they might be pretty solid shorts in there. I was kind of mulling adding SMCI to the list because that was something I was looking at yesterday. I'm not sure Starbucks is one of them. It's been trending up all pre-market to the point where it actually has a shot to go green. So, I'm not saying I'm going to go out there and buy it, but this one, even though they're down, even though if you're under the 50 period, I usually say, hey, you're breaking trend, short back into the 50 period. I'm not today. It feels oddly relatively strong. Like the market has been trending down all morning, and this has actually been trending up. So could be wrong about this, but I'm going to stay away from shorting back into that 50 period today.
All right. Yeah, look, I don't. The protein thing, I think, is a good thing. I don't see any problem with that. But the report's not great, but it's only down 1.3%, so it's not really acting, in line with its expectations here for Starbucks. So I would, more of a play. We don't have Chipotle on here, but we've been saying for a minute that the retail side has been pretty weak. We're seeing that again. Chipotle down another move here, down 20%. It looked like they wanted to go and they did not. Lululemon had that deal with NHL, had that deal with NFL. They went up to 185, 190. They're getting hit as well, like almost straight to the downside there for Lululemon. And then the other one was McDonald's was nearer at all-time highs. And I think it's still pretty close to that. So I was going to say if there's one winner or anything here, maybe it's McDonald's. So like their all-time high right there is 320. Yeah, okay, right there. And you're only back to 300. So you're still off 5 or 6% from this all-time high as well. So I don't know, man. It's a retail story right here. It makes me a little bit nervous about Apple, but I know we're talking food versus tech, but let's just see how strong retail actually is. My most recent play, of course, is Target, and that hit $100 yesterday, and then it's straight back down in. So, woe is us here in the retail space. Let's give it a breath. Walmart has been really coming back in, as has Costco. So So Walmart got that nice bump up to 110 on OpenAI news, and look at that since then, whoosh down here to the 50-period moving average, and then Costco, oh my God, sorry guys, I'm just seeing the time here, but Costco also making moves down into maybe even the 200 period soon for Costco. All right, quickly about Roblox, and then we got 30 seconds.
Monthly numbers out this morning, not great. I mean, the initial move was higher. 150 came into play early on. We're trying to test the lows currently here for Roblox.
Yeah, Brendo, they're expecting larger losses this year, which is not sending the stock higher with analysts.
Yeah, not a lot of volume behind this, guys. About 30 seconds to go here for the open.
1,000 share imbalance on Nvidia spiked to $3 there.
Yeah, and Google's tanking.
Right back, and Google is absolutely tanking. I'm going to quickly, there was nothing on the imbalances
290.
That's really standing out. QBTS is a small sell, so that's about it. Is we're going to drop the countdown on. There's the spike up in Nvidia, brought to you by Beta Pro by GlobeX. It is the post-Fed earnings bell. Let's drop it and ring it right now. And CMO, there was this CRML.
We may get Palantir soon.
Critical metals is.
Go ahead, yeah.
I like $12 at critical metals. If we do drift down there, it's one long in front of the prior high, 12 to 12.15 or so. Of course, with the rare earth deal that got made with China.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get too excited here early, as we've talked about, what we'd be looking for. Palantir does go up to 199 and then fades off of that, 197 and change right now. IBIT not doing anything. All right, let's go over to some of the earnings plays right now. Google, see ya, Google. We'll hit the sirens right now because Google is going the oppo right now. Down, down, down goes Google. But we do want to look at it because this is the name that was the better report, right? So what about a 285 take or something here for Google? Let's give it a shot. 286, we said that we would eventually try to dip into some of this. So we're going to try Google right now against 285. We like 290. Let's see if 285 gets a little bit better for us on Google. So I'm going to put that offer in right here. And if we break through 285, then we're gone. That's going to be my play, 284.99 early on Google. But we're in the money now, 50 cents. Let's see if it has some get up to it.
Yeah, IBIT not moving at all. It might have already fallen too far on IBIT. And we'll see where I'm starting to go.
Yeah, they just turned around again right now. So Google continues to go. Google just ripped up into 288, which gave us that $1.25. We did not take it, but here it comes right back upside again. Google like on one a little bit right now. There it is. That's now we're cruising. Let's see if we can get this off now on Google back there to the upside right now for Google. But I mean, Neil, I don't want to scalp, but right now the market is heading lower.
Yeah, the Nasdaq's absolutely heading lower. Critical metals is actually heading higher. So doesn't dip into prior high. It actually holds a pre-market low. I'm going to sit VWAP for the first potential take in this name. I just looked up at SMCI because I was looking at Nvidia as that was popping higher. Yeah. SMCI, look, I like this one short yesterday, obviously in the afternoon, and if Bitcoin doesn't go to the price we like, maybe I get this one on SMCI. I'm going to look for this in front of that volume-weighted average price if it can get there.
Price.
Ooh, I just remembered something. We don't have relocates on this.
I'm giving Google sort of 284. I made a mistake. 280. And it's in the money. I'm not adjusting this because any other reason. I just want to give this a little bit more room. We are now loaded up on Google, and here it goes. Let's just see how far we can get upside on this, if there is any upside, right? I mean, giving this one a little bit of room. We're going to give it $2, we just said. So let's see if we can get a little bit of action here back to the upside so that if it does drip for us, which it's trying to do right now, we take something out. So we'll see if we can get some.
Meta hit 650.
What? That is a great level for Meta.
At 650 qualifies for a potential SSR bounce.
Yeah, well, it's bouncing. Did you get long? No, not yet. Okay, yeah, it's bouncing exactly off of that level. I like. That's a great call. We talked about an SSR play here on Meta. Google, I don't think it goes SSR today. That would be
disastrous.
Insane, but disastrous is a very good word, Neil. But it is moving lower right now. So although we said we wouldn't try to catch a falling knife, I don't think I'm doing that. I think we're being pretty reasonable here. I only have one unit right now on this name, and I just thought if I like 290, then I'd like 285, but I want to give it that extra dollar because I feel like it could hit 285 and then do some sort of a move. So let's give it a little bit of seconds here just to see. And if it breaks lower, it breaks lower, and we get stopped out of Google. But all right, so you looked at Meta. We didn't look at Microsoft yet to see what that one's doing. And again, Microsoft, look, the calmest of them all.
And now,
go ahead, yeah.
No, it's like now Meta breaks. I couldn't even get long at 55. When it broke back through 55, it's already at 60. The wick here, this is a $10 wick on Meta. So it's almost like every $5 is going to be key. I want to, if this bar closes above 55, the idea is to be long on this bad boy. But check this out. Here, I got to make sure I have Meta up on the right screen so I can go back to it again, because if I say CRM, just know that I mean critical metals. And
okay.
I'm going to pause.
Not Salesforce.
No, I don't mean Salesforce.
Okay.
I bought VWAP before I could get a stop in. I was like, okay, if it holds VWAP, I'm going to add to this position. It ran the pre-market low in the next candle and is already down at 12. So thank goodness we got out of that one, because that could have been way nastier. Right, Meta, if I'm gonna get into this for the VWAP play, we got about a minute or two. No, the market's at the lows. The Nasdaq is at the low from the Fed. This is the Fed low to the penny, like 26.047 or something like that on the NQ. So this is where it's trying to bounce. That's another reason why I think there's a chance that this could go.
I think Google's a problem. It's not breaking above 286 right now. We need to get a definitive move above 286, or we are going to get stopped out of this. I am not going to average back in. We did take a 285, and I got some out at 286 just because I was like, this does not want to break. So I got out a 10% there for flat on this trade, and we just did it. So now I'm going to wait for a little bit of a bump. I'm at 286.25. Hopefully we can get that break and we can get a fill, because right now it's not looking great, man. They are selling Google downside now. Look at the market down. We talked about going down to, like, why I'm losing money long is just stupid of me.
Nvidia is going to break 03.
Oh, he's going to, yeah, it's back into 200 again, yeah. So that one continues to get a little bit lower. Yeah, this
I'm going to put this out there right. If Nvidia gets to 200, I'm probably taking a shot. If I see 200, oh, yeah.
Short. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, smarter people might try to break it short, but.
I don't know. I was just wondering which way you're thinking about, because yeah, the
futures are breaking.
There it is. So we have to hit a fail there, because we tried Google. It does not hold it. I feel very comfortable with that trade. It's just we were there, sitting there, trying to do something with it. It just didn't work out. I'm waiting for that like capitulated moment here where we can get back above, and I think we need to break above 286 for me to go again. I saw so many times here that it was not breaking that level. Doesn't mean that it's not eventually going to start to go again, but for right now, I'm having like thoughts of that day on Tesla where it just kept on going down, and you didn't really know why. I mean, right now, Google's going to turn, I don't want to say it, but I mean, it could turn red. Right now. It was already up 8-9% earlier, right? Our graphic is Google up 9% or something, right? Now you're only up 2% and starting to head a lot lower. So bye Google. And then I don't know if that Meta held or not right now. It's still holding.
It's held the wick bar. So this is, can we come to Meta for a quick little second? Can we come to my chart? There we go. So it manages to close above this wick and then consolidate here. So getting the bottom was an almost impossibility, but I'm in here now effectively at 60, giving it to this prior bar, not the wick low, but like this prior bar low at like 67. So I think I've got it to where I'm risking $2.50 instead of like 5, and then looking for the volume weighted average price on Meta. And you know what? This market is really, really tanking. Sheesh.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, this is make sure we get out in front of the volume weighted average price, because this market is not loving things. I'm gonna get it all out in the next few bucks here. The market is supposed to be a short today. I'm thinking of that and looking over, like Nvidia's at 201.8. Google could get to 280. It's like, what do I want to sit on the bid in? I'll scalp out of Meta and then maybe go to something else if I'm trying to catch a bid here. There might be more appealing names for sure. And so much for getting IBIT short. That's the other thing.
Yeah, exactly, 650.
Like IBIT, there was no pop to short on IBIT. You essentially just had to short when the market opened. That was your only chance.
All right, I'm going to try to get a little bit back here in Google by just seeing about that, because I see what you're doing there on Meta, and I like that kind of a play where maybe you've made a bottom at a key level. Obviously, we get the bounce with the SSR. We don't necessarily have that here with Google, but we can take enough shares here that if we can get back into that 285 or so, then we can figure it out. But you know, a break of that 280, and we're just going to give Google one more breath down here, and then if it's gone, it's gone, and we'll just have to eat that, right? Because yeah, it's not a great trade here trying to catch these bottoms. But I thought Google was a good report, and it looks like I think we were right about it being a good report. But doesn't really matter at this point.
If I'm wrong about getting out a couple bucks in front of VWAP, then so be it. But somebody somebody on the tape just said no mas to $664 on Meta. So for me, I'm out.
Nice, nice.
Like to me, that's the move. The market is like we're past 1% now. I think looking to say this strategy usually goes to VWAP, so take it to VWAP. When this is happening on the Nasdaq, it's probably not the right call. So the bid, go back to, well, not very long ago. We have right here 259.5, and then from there you have I don't want to call it a sizable gap, but you have a little bit of a gap. So sometimes you're looking at the tape more so than you are looking at a line on a chart, and thankfully, this is exactly what happened. Remember in Oklo yesterday where I was like, oh man, someone just dumped 151s. That's why I got out at 64 there, because I saw exactly the same thing. It's like, that dude wants to sell right now, get out. And obviously, it could be anybody. It could be a man, woman, it's just a trader. Somebody put a large order through. I always just say dude, and don't at me, people.
That's why I'm like, great trade, guys, but it's like, yeah, it could be anywhere. Okay, we've got a bigger position on now of Meta, of Google. So let's just see if it wants to go here. I don't know. We're long at 281 flat. I'm just trying to, I mean, Neil got a big win there with Meta. I'm just trying to basically scalp some out right now, because it hasn't been working. Doesn't mean it's not going to work. No, I mean, I still like this long right now. That's why I'm back into it. But I'm just doing it off of 282, so 281. I'm not even trying to give this one too much room. So let's try to scalp this, which we just did. We were able to get out of half there on the way up, because honestly, guys, like, to sit here and die on this hill is not something I'm willing to do. So watch out there for Google breaking through 280 one more time.
I cannot think of a time that I've seen a report this good. We've seen gap fills before. Yeah. I've never seen something like this on Alphabet. It's a bit unprecedented.
Yeah. This is an interesting one here for Google, but it doesn't matter. There's other names to look at. So we'll just let that sort of fester here and see if we can get something on Google again to the upside. That would be nice if it can go for me. But yeah, Palantir's falling here nicely as well. We put down a $200 mark there for them, and they're falling back in nicely here, of course. That's Palantir, so we have to watch out for them.
You know what's holding up really well? Starbucks is actually holding up pretty well. Okay. See, there was something built different about Starbucks. Protein, I know it's down 1.5%, but it's been taking its protein this morning. Yes. As it's at least not breaking down and looking terrible. Essentially, I'm staring down 280 in Google, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, people don't want Nvidia to go down, but that 280 level and 200 even on Nvidia. But I just checked out Apple. Apple's got a little bit of strength to it. It's holding prior day highs. So this might be one for me. Go into prior day highs and try to bounce.
I like Apple today for sure. Into earnings. Darren and I had a talk on Tuesday before all the earnings, and I said I thought Apple would be the best report. So we'll wait to see if that's true. But right here we go, man. We're $2 in the money. Let's see if we can get going. We're back to green, so that feels good right now. So we're back to Greensville here on the account, so that's good. But still more to go, right? I mean, if this market's going to bounce, I think we have a good bottom here in Google. So let's wait to see. I'm waiting at 284. You know, I'm going to go a little bit. I'm just going to take a piece again right here. Okay, so 283.12s we just got. Then I'm going to wait for 284 because, again, you know, we took a hit early. Let's make sure that we're good on this now moving forward, okay? Eli Lilly was another name that reported there yesterday, and they're not moving around too much here in the pre-market, in the open market. They didn't do much in the pre-market is what I was trying to say. Not too much volume, and then right now, kind of just hovering around, right? So we'll see what's going on here with Eli Lilly. I still want to fade the market on any kind of pop. This, Neil, is
there hasn't been a pop to fade.
I know.
This is sort of the issue. Like I want to kick myself over this IBIT because, like, what were you supposed to do? You had to short the pre-market. There was no, or you literally shorted the flat bottom break of the open. Those were your only options. You had to just short the actual low of the day. And now, even if we get to VWAP, you're shorting the same price you would have got at 930. Right. So I'm going to slap an absolute fail on that because this was the short that I wanted, and I don't see any way to short it down here. Because when I look at it, I'm shorting it. What am I going to short it right into the only support that's on the chart? Like right here. Like I can't hit the sell key.
You can hit it now.
Obviously I could hit the sell key.
Yeah. I think all levels are there to be broken. Look, I wrote on today too. It's like TQ short, Palantir short, IBIT short. Try to be patient, but get short. You know, it's just sometimes it doesn't happen that way. I'm going to refresh this so we can all put our names in here that we, wow, look at that. Look at VCIG. That's a pretty cool logo. All right, I'm going to reset this so that we can all put our logos, our names in here, and then tell us what we want to look at. Because right now, we're obviously focused on these mega cap names, which is fine by me, but maybe not fine by others. So let's go over. Was that a call for Adara? Yes. Yes, and let's go to Adara.
I have another name people might potentially want to look at here. MRK, Merck, kind of choppy here on earnings day one, but I'm seeing some commentary coming from the CEO. Apparently the company is looking to make deals in the $1 billion to $15 billion range. So MRK, reportedly interested in some deal making. Keep an eye on Merck here. I also want to let you guys know, no economic numbers at 10 a.m., though at 9:55 a.m., Fed's Bowman will begin to speak. Back to you.
All right. We do now have a low tick here in Google. So Google just made its new low, looking to break through 280. This is why we talked about scalping it out. We will not be green if it breaks, but we were just green. So we did good to get out of some right there. But right now, I don't know, man. It's just not a good mover here for us on Google. Now it has that 280 peg to it, so it will break that, and then we'll go downside here on Google. I'm going to try to get something out if it pops above 281 again. But right now, there's just no momentum to the long side. It just tried to go. It got as high as 283, which we did really well to get out of, and we'll just put on a little bit more down here, but it looks like it's going to break. Every time there's a little bit of a move up, it does get crushed right back down. So here comes, ooh, I was going to say, there comes a 280 break. See, there it goes. It just tried to go up 50 cents, got hit right again. Go, try to go. It needs to get above 281 to see that that is the bottom. So there's the out that we were talking about. Let's take it again now as we're starting to get back upside there. We just took a couple outs. Good. We needed that out. I'll just leave it at that. Here goes Google back there to the upside. Now let's see if that 280 is maybe a bottom, but the pressure is on the sell side, Neil, even though the market's going up.
If this isn't the bottom, there isn't one. So 280, I'm looking for 284. They're in Apple. Someone said walk through the Apple trade. Okay, so this is the prior high. It kind of wicked it here. I jumped. My order is underneath the 50 because I'm really looking at that level. So I have essentially, I don't really have the even dollar, but close enough to the even dollars. I'm risking actually more than 50 cents, like 60 pennies. But I want to get out and going into VWAP here. So as it gets up, gets through the $0.50, 1-to-1, we'll take some out, and then want to get the rest out, ideally at that volume-weighted average price. So just a couple of bounce off the low plays, because I don't want to hit that short key at the bottom. And the only thing I'm looking for a fade on the way back up is potentially IBIT, not necessarily a guarantee. It looks like I might have been wrong about VWAP and META, because it did eventually tag the volume-weighted average price there on META. So probably could have got that extra $1.50 on it, but at the time, you saw what was going on with the market, right? Like it did pull back pretty significantly in that moment.
Oh boy, we got a big one now, finally. I mean, good take there. Let's go. We're at 284. Hopefully we can get that. We're at 283.95s on Google. Can we get it? Yes, we can. And there it is, man. That is a big chicken dinner winner now. Finally, thankfully, right there. We averaged it back in, and there it goes. Boom goes the dynamite. Good trade, good sizing for me on that one, as we have that unit left. Now it goes, we don't have it left. We did, and now we got it out there at 284. So that was a good one there, putting us back to where we need to be right here on the day. Just back to green, like well, now it's a little bit better than that, but we'll wait to see where we go. Okay, SPY. Whoa. People want to talk about SPY. SoFi's back to 30. Okay, that's interesting name there. Oklo down 4% as well. Microsoft flat. Meta, good level at 650. We're glad we found that one for you. Tesla, 452, down 2%. Nvidia trying to bounce off O's right now as well. Caterpillar day 2 play. Rigetti downside. Amazon on earnings, 225 today for Amazon. So yeah, look, part of the noise, if you hear anything in the background, we still are going through some renovations here right now. As you can see that beautiful screen in the background right there. Almost done, right? Almost done, put together. But that's great. Looking absolutely fantastic. You know, I don't know if it got low enough for Sharif to buy. I don't think so. But Meta gets to 650. Did you get it?
I knew I should have.
Okay, I thought you wanted it down more than that. All right, so we're going to wait for Meta, but it's down here. As we said before, like these levels, the 200 period, not often are you going to get good opportunities to buy great names at the 200 period, moving average. So day one of earnings right here for Meta, and maybe worth taking a shot.
Absolutely, and it's certainly worth taking a shot if you're a sophisticated trader in Canada, because we got exciting news for you. Beta Pro by Globex Canada has got the most leveraged inverse and inverse leveraged ETFs out there. They launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs. You got 3 times bull, 3 times bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semis, and U.S. Treasuries. And on top of that, the special fee rebate they're offering drops management fees to just 65 basis points until the end of this year, December 31st. And the U.S.-focused strategies also use currency hedging, offering the potential for pure performance and exposure. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca 3x daily to learn more. Scan that QR code in front of you. So a couple of things. I got out at the 84 level on, almost said Meta,
Google.
Alphabet, Google. It's, you know, been a lot of late nights watching the Jays for me relatively because I'm old and I go to sleep early. But
you are old.
I am old. We did not get all the way to VWAP on Apple, so I took 271.70. Risking 60 pennies, took 60 pennies, looking, I'll reload this one. Apple, Apple, one of the things that we don't talk about this enough with Apple, one of the things we like about Apple here, I think I can speak for at least a few of us, is it's not the same AI risk if we get some downside during earnings or like an AI bubble pops. I figure Apple takes it on the chin the least. And if we were to get back to the lows today, I feel like Apple has a good chance to hold. But VWAP is still going to be the target. The Qs are absolutely flying right now, relatively speaking, to what was happening earlier. But look at this. It's all down. We've almost V-shaped it. We're through the volume-weighted average price on the Qs, and we're headed right back to where we were at the open. So, you know, I like Apple. I'm trying to buy some higher lows, but it makes me think twice about blindly shorting IBIT at VWAP. So I'm not going to blindly just sit here in front of the volume-weighted average price on IBIT. I'm going to allow it to trade up into that level. And if I don't get like a trend reversal or a topping tail wick or something along those lines.
It broke 108?
We're back above 108. I'd be patient with this one. Like, I'm not just automatically going to
No, we broke below it.
Oh, below 108.
Yeah,
now we're back to 108.
Yeah,
we're essentially at 108 flat. Here, I can show you guys there.
Yeah, sure.
And I can also do it this way, which is literally just call up BTC. The only reason I don't show you this is because we don't trade this, but it's the same chart. You could at real trading if you wanted to. But for now, great bounce back in the market.
Yeah.
Let's see how far we can go. Let's bust higher. A little bit of a capitulation bottom. It's always a bit of a tell. I'm always gonna, we were bottom picking a lot, but I'm gonna give you guys one thing that I look at when the market is falling. There are certain things that fundamentally I believe shouldn't fall, like a leveraged buyout that should have a distinct range. If those flash crash, then to me, then it's just like a risk capitulation bottom. And one of these stupid things flash crashed this morning. I was like, that means the market was bottoming out when I saw this go. So I'll yell that out every now and then if I see some utter nonsense that was happening. But they were selling things that fundamentally should not have been going down with the market because they shouldn't follow the market. And I like that when the market tries to bounce. So we'll see what happens with Bitcoin. I don't know how married I am to this short back through.
Man, we are now at our day goal. I mean, I don't know how that exactly even happened, okay? Because like we were down about a day, about a day and a half or so on the trade initially. So I'm trying to let this one grow a little bit. It's now $5 in on that one. And look, we were just early on the long there, and we got out. And I think that's the difference between how I trade now and how I traded before, is just like, instead of averaging all the way to the just have the ability to get out almost immediately. We did that on Tesla the other day, and then wait to find a bottom, right? And it's like, we didn't even really wait. We chose 282 there, and then we're able to say, you know what, if this holds 280, then that's going to be the last sort of straw there. So, if it broke, we would have been down, obviously, but it didn't. So that's trading, right? I mean, there's always $7. There's always coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? But until you sit in these seats, and you guys know this too for yourselves, like pushing the button is something that happens. And if Neil was talking about that, when it's at lows, you make those kind of plays. And you got to say, is it the low, or do I want to break the low? Do I want to bounce off of it? We just went with Google. It's a strong name there after the report. We love the report, and we love the stock. It's Google. It is Moon City right now for that. I only have 15% left. But honestly, man, to hit it now, we're almost at a day and a half now, and there it goes. it's kind of called like, you got it. We talked about having that spidey sense and things like that. This is how you get these $7, $8 winners. You got to get out when you're wrong though, because you do not want to have a $7 or $8 loser on your account. So there it goes. It's a nice move up. Thank you, Google, for this move, because it's definitely helped me here today. And I hope it helped a lot of you. And I hope some of you were able to pick up some of the trades that Neil and I put on, because there was definitely some bangers with, of course, this one right here still on $7, $8. And you've got the Apple trade, what they're reporting tonight. You had a great Meta long. But thank you, Ozan. I cannot be president. I do not have U.S. citizenship, nor am I born in the U.S. But does that matter?
Allegedly. That's what they say.
I have no idea.
You just have to, it just takes a little bit of patience. That's all. When the market's falling like that,
exactly.
Sometimes when you have that kind of a heavy candle, like the difference between like regular movement or Fed day, and we basically put in a Fed candle here. Like it was essentially that Fed candle that just happened in the market. And when that happens and you see everything going down, you just try to pick a spot where there's going to be some buyers.
Oh boy.
Between Meta, again, it was only just Meta, Google, and Apple. I understand that there's other things happening out there. So with all due respect to Microsoft did not drop with everything else. Like you couldn't have even tried it on Microsoft. Softy didn't dip. This has actually been strong the entirety of the way. The other name that I wanted to get to, of course, crypto. Bitcoin is starting to bounce back higher. I'm favoring the short on Bitcoin, so at some point I'm gonna play into this short. I'm just trying to be patient like we were at some of those bottoms coming back up here. When you have a heavy V-shaped recovery, like we're seeing here, it can often have a blowout top. What I like is you're still making lower highs on Bitcoin, whereas the Nasdaq's come all the way back. So Bitcoin's at least still relatively weak, which fits the bill of why I still want to try it short.
Thank you, everybody. We just got out of some more. We only have 10% left now on this name as it came right up into there. But yeah, let's go over and start looking at some stocks that you guys want here, because my boat is full, man. We are like, I'm in a great mood, and that was a great take there. We've had some great couple days of trading. SoFi was interesting. I mean, it's not really getting going too much here. SoFi, Tesla, Microsoft, I think we've done a bit of that as well. CVU, we can take a quick little look at that. And remember, there are so many different things happening. I'm pretty much a mega cap trader, as well as futures trader at Bitcoin. So that's why I said that Joe is like a mini me over there. He and I will trade many of the same names all the time. So get ready for the midday show where there'll be more of these kind of penny names coming through with my guy Sharif. So watch out for this. Up 64% here, CVU there. Let's call on Adara, maybe, for symbol Charlie Victor Unit. Adara, see what the news here is on CVU, because right now that is up 65% and starting to get even going more right now. But the reason why we need the news is, Adara, it's coming right into some key levels here of 350. Go, let's go.
So what happened here is apparently they were awarded a contract of structural assemblies by Raytheon Missiles and Defense. So they got a contract here from Raytheon for apparently contract of structural assemblies. That's the news here on CVU.
Okay,
well,
so Raytheon.
Raytheon's the name we like in the space.
Big defense name.
I could make an argument. I'd go so far as to say that I like Raytheon the best in defense.
Yeah, I don't know enough about
traditional defense, because I guess technically now Palantir's defense, so I guess it's kind of old defense names. But the problem is it's just lost VWAP just as we speak, that CVU. I pulled it up and I was like, oh, this thing can hold on to the volume weighted average price. It's a pretty good trend. Unfortunately, it's breaking it as we speak. So I might have to consider that on the side burner. I don't mind trading those names, but it's not really setting up the way I would like it. IBIT, I threw an order in right when I saw it curl under the pre-market low, and that's pretty much exactly when it started heading down. So the trend down is still intact. I'm kind of hoping I get picked back up for the short, but as you can see, clearly that's not going to happen. So got to look for another entry here on IBIT. There is a trend working downside here, not a clean one, but I might just respect this trend line down. So the market's going up, but this is one of the, I mean, there's probably something else going down as well, but right now, Bitcoin's still trending down. So if it breaks this trend, then I'm not going to fight it. I'll just short the trend line on Bitcoin.
Look what Alex Karp is doing.
Carping?
Dude, this is nuts, man, right now. Just straight down. Like they're like, okay, we'll go down with the market. We'll see if anybody can find the bottom there. And then whoosh, all the way back up. Maybe this is not a 200 short. I had written down here on my trade plan. I mean, again, on the plan, it's short, short, short. Everything is short on here. But Palantir was short at 200, and we're getting up there right now. I'm gonna leave this short alone.
Did you say 200?
Yes, look at this. It was 194, came right back up into 2 bills here again, is Palantir. Yesterday's, and I got to fix this chart because it crashed on me, but yesterday's highs for Palantir right into where we are right now. I don't have the pre-market on here, which is why I got to fix this. But 199, we got up, almost broke 200 yesterday. Looks like we're going to try to do it here today. Palantir saying, hold my damn beer, as that continues to go. You know what? Forget it. Rewind, flip it up. We're going long now on 200 right here. I'm going to take that long if we can get it going now. You know, have that ability to sort of change your mind up. And I think that that's important, but we don't want to go too hard long because, again, it's not like the greatest long in history because of where he's come from. Like if we had started the day and we only dipped down to like 197 and then had some juice going, but this looks like a great opportunity here to trade Palantir through 200. So let's take it, but let's not get too carried away. We did have a great trade there on Google. I don't want to give it all back here with Palantir. We are at our goal for the day despite taking that hit early. So let's be careful and take a 200 long, but let's maybe do half a unit instead. The breaks haven't been great lately. We had a great one on Nvidia, and we'll see if we can do it on Palantir. But look, that 200 short, maybe we should have just stuck with our guns there as it's pulling back in just a little bit now.
Yeah, speaking of pulling back in, I'm not going to get Bitcoin, unfortunately. I was looking over what's setting up to the short, and I'm not really finding anything I like. But right now, the market is pretty much at the only spot where I would think about it. Trying to reload Apple. So I was bidding underneath 271 because I got it underneath 271 the last time. I don't think it's going to happen. You're going to close this above the volume weighted average price on the Nasdaq. So it is, again, the only thing I think we're shorting is a shot at Bitcoin. It's the only thing looking weak enough. It's going to be reloading some other things. Let's go to Adara for happening now. I got to get a different bid on Apple to get
ripping.
filled.
$8 in Google. What's up, Adara?
Ooh.
Yeah, let's talk here about what's happening right now. And I think one of the biggest things that happened yesterday that I think we need to discuss is, well, I guess technically this morning in that time zone, is the meeting between President Xi of China and U.S. President, Donald Trump. Now, one of the biggest things here was with regards to rare earth. They're apparently going to be working on that rare earth supply chain. We also had Trump and the U.S. agreeing to have the tariffs that they put on China with regards to fentanyl. So those are their fentanyl-related tariffs of 10%. They were initially 20% going to have those to 10%, it sounds like, after said meeting. Let's talk here about some of these earnings names. There were several. I know Sean here involved with Google. I want to talk about the other two Mag 7 earnings reports a bit here. So Meta, adjusted EPS beating estimates, non-adjusted EPS well below estimates because the company had to basically face a nearly $16 billion tax charge. Their sales beat estimates and their Q4 sales guide in line with estimates. Then we had Microsoft. This is the Meta chart as well, but keep an eye out here at MSFT. Adjusted EPS and sales beating estimates. Q2 sales guide a little bit mixed, and it is worth noting as well they had to face a $3.1 billion impact this quarter with regards to their investment in OpenAI. But what's the future here? We're going to have Apple and Amazon earnings tonight. Join myself and Sean at 4 p.m. Eastern for these reports. And if you're looking for more info on Apple or Amazon in terms of what they did last quarter and what they're expecting to do this quarter, check out these infographics on X at TTV Research. Now, before we send you back to Sean and Neil, we'll take a moment to thank our good friends at Origenics, OGEN. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., but there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Origenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more. Schedule a meeting today. Back to you.
Schedule that meeting. Thanks, Adara, for that one. So yeah, still $9. Google goes up. We got a 290 print. We got a 289.50 print. 289.40. Yeah, 50. So that was a good print. We'll see if we can get another one right there as this continues to make moves. SMR and some of these other names today, Oklo, you know, all these moves, all these names had moves down and are now finally starting to go back again. I think these are great dip buy opportunities, man. I mean, we've seen this so many days now in a row where Oklo and SMR and even some of the Rigettis and the
Oklo yesterday was the craziest Fed mover.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
By like a long shot.
It was down $13 and straight up $13, something like that on Oklo. Right there, but yeah, there it is again today on IonQ. So I think this is just like a play the momentum names when you think the market is finally starting to turn around. Oh, wow, the TQQs. I should have shorted that. What happened? Oh, no, it went to 119.50. Ah, okay, we missed that move there. We should have shorted that. The 200 period is what we want. We want that 200 period short, and we missed it there. My bad on the TQQs. Was just watching out on this Google trade as we take some more out up here, but we should have shorted the futures. Let's see if it gets back up to there. Did any of you guys short the futures? I think that was a good play up in there, and I hear you cheering on IBIT as it's right now still at 108. So
but I can't really. I'm trading it off the trend line, and it's not really filling me at the top end of this trend line here. So there we go. Like I'm trying to get filled a little bit above 61.2s, and if it breaks, trying to get out and not worry about the volume weighted average price, but it's not really popping as much. But you just said what's happening with the Qs, like this topping tail candle. I went over and went back to SMCI. I was like, shoot, too late. That's, yeah, that was a gorgeous. I think I talked myself out of looking for shorts up there, unfortunately, but SMCI ends up being a very good topping tail. It doesn't matter because I hadn't paid for locates in time. I forgot we don't have them. The reload on Apple is going to come out. So oddly enough, this one didn't report, but it'll actually end up a fail. Like, it's weird that Google and Meta will be like the best bottoms, and Apple, which to me is a stronger stock, will not be. But I'm not going to let it fill in the gap. Like, I like Apple for some support today, but if you're going to lose this bottom, then I'm always going to wait. You can make an argument for like 269.5, but I'd need something at least a little bit closer to 268 to jump back into that one for sure. I think I'm one and done in Meta. Like it's falling back as well, but I don't know if I want to take another shot at this. To me, you already got the SSR bounce. Like that's your capitulation bottom, and that's pretty much all you can get. And as for a place to get back into Google, I played it back into here. But if it can hold on to the 85 or VWAP, there could be a consolidation long to get a little bit more. So I might end up looking at some small cappers, to be honest with you. That CMBBM, Cambium, could be worth a look.
Well, you still have IBIT, so hopefully that will be...
Well, no, I said I was doing a trend trade. I'm not going to go long. Usually 10 times out of 10, I go long on a trend break of there. But I decided I'm going to take a shot shorting right in front of the trend line with a stop above the trend line. Because it's kind of like the opposite if you prefer the short trade. The other play is to just let it wait to drift into the prior high. Because my initial short was 62 or 62.5. So at this point, I'd rather just take a couple of small shots, like Sean said, to say days made. Like for myself, between Meta and Alphabet, like it is what it is. I don't see anything that's going to end up being better than those two trades. Like nothing setting up that's going to give you that kind of an opportunity that I'm seeing yet. I'm going to just take a bunch of small shots and wait for the next available opportunity. Going to hunt for some names, make sure I keep up my scanner. What's weird is the top of my hot list scanner is actually Nvidia and Nokia, believe it or not. Like two names that we have not looked at whatsoever.
No, I've only looked at one name. I only have one trade on today. One name, one idea, one trade, and one mic. Because shout out to Nas. What's up, Queens? Yeah, no, it's just because that's who we are and that's what we're doing. We're trying to lay our head down on trades that we believe, and then hopefully reap the benefits when they go this way. Because I was actually thinking about this a lot of time, right? And it happened when Nimit was here and some of the other traders in the chat. They always are saying like the sticky note is like the percentages that they give on here. It's not just that; it's just the trading ideas in general. I don't hold them long enough. And it's like I get stopped out, and then I start to look in other places. Google wasn't even on the sticky note today. So it was just watching a strong name fall back in. And we had said earlier today, too, that if Google fell into 290, it would be something we'd like. But that didn't even, like, that happened in the pre-market. Like, the very first move in was a $4 move down. You know, so we just did what we do best. There's a 290. And you know, this is me just trying to be humble here. I have to talk about the trades that we make. You know, I've talked about Neil's trades here. I'm talking about this trade. We're all talking about everything. And this one, up to 290, that's a $10 winner now. And you got to like take profit when it's there, but also respect some of your levels. We got a lot out here on the 21 period. Remember when it was like 284, 285? We're like, we got to get something out when that winds up happening, right? So there it goes, right back there to the upside. I can never predict how far these things are going to go, but that was a good play and a strong name, a great report. Fell on market weakness. I mean, that's perfect. That's like a perfect storm for me there. And then also, again, going back to trusting what you said in the first place, we have written down here Palantir short. And I canceled my $199.50 offer, which I did have there, right? And that rate now for 50 cents worth of risk, because right here, and Neil has said a great word, and he said, we got to be patient. Look at this, trying to be patient. We wrote this at 8 o'clock. Trying to be patient and specific today. It's written right here, wait for your levels, don't force trades. Well, Palantir came right up and we said, get out fast if you're wrong, right? It's literally what we wrote in there, and we just didn't take it. So we should have trusted ourselves a little bit more with that Palantir look and not get caught up in the market momentum, but hey, we're only human, and we made a great trade here with Google. Like I said, we've hit our daily goal. I know there's a lot of you that said that you were one and done on Tesla, one and done on that Meta trade, one and done everywhere. I think that's the right strategy. If you've hit your levels, take it easy. Either lower your shares, look for other opportunities, or use that very, very keyword, patience. Congratulations, coffee trader, man. I'm glad that you have that Palantir short. I wish I trusted my own read on that a little bit more, but good for you guys. And again, staying away from trades, sometimes you're going to miss them, sometimes you're going to get them. And that Palantir one, I just was not aggressive enough with that thought. So, but anyways, that's what it is, and this is why we do it, man. Just not a YOLO mentality by any stretch. It's a very, very specific. Be trained.
No one
be
even
patient.
says YOLO anymore.
No, some guy in the chat just goes YOLO.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't. That's not what we're doing. So this out is 75 cents, right? My out was 280. I can show you the stop. It's still in there right now. So this was about $1 worth of risk to make $10. I don't know. That's why I only have 10% left. So. It's a nice move up. Palantir might be a dip buy opportunity, actually, right now. The only thing I didn't get, I saw someone in the chat there say something about gold. I know you got out of crypto. It's not really doing anything right now, 108 again. But GLD I actually like more than Bitcoin at this point. But here it goes, 370 now. Nice move up there for gold today. I did not buy dips. It didn't get into my 340 level.
Yeah, I'm sort of looking at trying to be patient. Like for myself, my style of trade is always going to be like this. So the same way that you'll say, oh, well, I'm going to get out early, but I'm also going to get in one spot. Like if it's a falling knife, you're going to see me enter at one place and that's it. I'm like, that's the shot. And if it stalls there, then that's what I get. It's the same thing with Alphabet. So when looking for the next opportunity, because of what just happened, with that, I don't want to call it a capitulation bottom, but I can't think of a better term, like wipeout low, whatever you want to say, in the market just there. I'm going to start looking at big trends possibly breaking. And for now, Meta kind of has this going on. I don't know if there's enough time frame on the long here, but certainly like this long trend from the pre-market, if that were to break, I think there's another play there in Meta. I'm actually going to get rid of this. If I don't like it, then I'm not going to put that trend line up there. It's just, it would make me skewed to thinking it was an opportunity. But I'm not going to get too far away from IBIT either. Or like I took a shot on that trend line. Again, you could make the argument to go long. My gut was telling me not to go long on the trend break, even though usually I would, because I'm still favoring short. So I'll let this one drift a little bit higher before taking another shot. And shout out to everyone mentioning gold and silver. Silver, 2% to the upside. I kind of prefer this for a day trade over gold in general circumstances because it just tends to move more. And technically, this one just looks cleaner to me. Like it's breaking out very cleanly over obvious resistance. So if it were to get to like 40, what is that, 44.8, 45, that's a secondary break, but there's plenty of room. You have almost a full dollar for it to get there. It's taking the stairs up, and it's doing so while the market is pulling back. So there's the market pulling back, it's going in the other direction. So I like this a little bit better for an X long. I want to try to buy the next consolidation off any dip. So I'm moving over to silver. Shout out to everyone that mentioned gold as well. I just prefer trading this one.
Okay, so we got a monster super chat. So why don't we throw that up right here? We are a trading show. We talk about that all the time. So this is why this super chat to me is special. So I want to say thank you to everybody there. Sean, I trade here in Chicago. Shout out to the
Chi-town.
Yeah, shout out to the Cubs and Blackhawks and not the Bears.
The Bears.
Not the Bears. Okay, Sean, I trade here in Chicago, not at a profit, but not a funding company. Okay, so a little different than what we have. Your trades are great. I have received the same feedback as you. It's super to provide that feedback while they sit on the sidelines. Great trading. So I say shout out to you. Thank you so much for the super chat of $100, Michael. And I mean, yeah, it's not easy to find, you know, $8, $9, $10 winners, but Michael, it looks like you have that horse sense as well. So congratulations to you on that one. Randy, how's the day going?
We figured out some things, so it's going. It's progress.
Oh, was there problems?
Yeah, I was going to say, was there an issue?
So I don't know if you can see back here, folks.
Yeah, they can.
There's a desk back here. Our new news desk.
Yes.
And it's taken a little thought, but it's got multi-functions and multi-purposes and
little panels
all that stuff. So yeah, and we're going to light it up. But this is desk 3.0, the third desk I built. It's a little more elaborate, but
it's going to be insane. I would imagine the weight of, because it's going to have all the panels on it all around.
when we have to move it, I'm calling you.
I'm not moving. What? You crazy? You know, I got a bad back, Randy. Got a bad back, brother. I'm not moving that thing. That thing looks, it's probably exactly as heavy as it looks.
Yeah.
That thing is, it's a little bit of a beast.
Yeah.
But that's what it's all
myself,
about. Like, bigger and better for the show. There's so much you guys haven't seen. And wait till you get a chance to be able to view the entirety.
What a day.
The entirety of this. It's unbelievable. Yeah, again, everything like that super chat, it just go back into making the show better. That's what it's all about. Great way to wrap. We only have a couple days left in the month. This so far is a great way to end the month. It's been a great month,
fantastic.
And it's wrapping up absolutely fantastically. So I said I'm going to look over to IBIT. Looks like we're getting a possible turn here. Someone in the chat asked a question saying, how do you look for shorts after like great longs? Okay, yeah. Like 2 longs, better than any trade I had this week. But I got to look to what is next. And if I have a topping tail candle underneath the support level, I'll let that be my guide. And then I'll try to short something which I already thought was a short, if it's a short setup, or that I think is relatively weak. And that just leads me to IBIT, because I don't really have anything else setting up. So with that, if we close under view up, I'll take another shot here at IBIT to the south side. Most everything else doesn't really appeal to me to look for any kind of reversion to the low.
Okay. All right. What else do you guys want to? Oh yeah, we have this thing we could look at here. I do want to make sure that we look at the broader market in general, though. So hold on, let's have a quick little look. It's only 10:16 right now. Like I said, we're just excited about what's been happening today. Oh, I want to show you JP Morgan chart before I go here, because Sharif sat down here earlier and said, wow, the Dow was positive while the market was cranking. And I said, it has to be the banks, right? And then right here, look at this.
Both today.
Boom, that's a nice one right there. Merger with CoreWeave not approved by shareholders for Corv right there. So they finally, wasn't it Corv? Oh, CRZ, right there. Shareholders not approving the merger. Corv, this one goes way higher now on that, because they should be way higher than where they are. CoreWeave tried to buy them on the cheap.
With shares, which people didn't want to hold CoreWeave shares.
Yep, so Core Scientific right now trying to go higher through these levels. I just want to say that we just got another piece out there at 290 again, 289.75, another out for us right there on Google. Man, keep the winners coming on that side. But yeah, I just want to say quickly, JP Morgan, like another monster move all the way back, right? Like, that didn't get into 280, did it actually get to 280 there, JP Morgan? I don't think so. 290, yeah, okay, I was going to say that's not the right tick. Right, so got into 290 right there, JP Morgan, and now back up to 310. So a nice move here as we get right back up into highs. But here we go, man. This is a new segment called, let's just review this randomly. Okay, so healthcare technology, we did see a nice move. Yeah, very creative. We did see a nice move up on Eli Lilly, but it's fading. It was up 4 or 5% earlier, now only up 1.21% on earnings. Merck was a story. Adair brought us some Merck there earlier. So that's down 1.35% right now. GE Healthcare, I still own some of that from the spinoff as well. Those are the only 2 red names, but wow, that's what Meta is back down again? Meta's down to, how far did they get? Meta down 11.7% right now. Oh, 663, okay.
We got to 72.
All right, so a little bit better now. Google, Microsoft, Oracle, I was actually saying to Neil, wow, Palantir's at 196, man. We threw up $4 there. We should have had that trade, but as it was listed. Oracle down 4% as well. Palantir, there it is. Salesforce, Neil was confusing that with something else, CRMB or something.
It's critical metals.
Critical metals. There's CRM, though, with a nice move back up, and we'll see if that can start to hold out some. And then here we go, man. The bleeding potentially continues in electronic technology names, unfortunately led today by the biggest and the baddest.
Well, actually, Broadcom's doing really bad.
Yeah, Broadcom's, yeah. But I think NVIDIA is like the dog that wags the tail. So as NVIDIA pulls down, obviously you get Broadcom and AMD. And I just think it's froth a little bit now. We talked about, own, don't trade. And if you want to get out of NVIDIA, we just made all-time highs yesterday. I can't see any reason if you're nervous. We had some people talk earlier that they were in cash. So like a trade like NVIDIA makes some sense here if you are looking to raise capital. I mean, getting out of something that has basically gone parabolic in the last 3 days, NVIDIA, and it does touch yesterday 212, which we actually had. That would make sense there, grabbing some of that. So shout out to Michael again. Thank you so much for that $100 super chat. It means a lot to the show. And I mean, that's what all the money that is donated or given to anybody, even if it says our names like that one did, it all goes back to the show. So we want to thank you guys for that one. As here goes Google, man, looking to break 290. Neil, it's $9 there on Google. So far so good, but we only have 5% left.
Yeah, and the market looks like it's coming back in here. We have several times, I know you mentioned Oracle, but I just heard someone in the chat was asking if Oracle looks like it's a buy down here. I didn't realize Oracle was actually doing this until just now because I didn't look at Oracle this morning. But this is trend down. This is a break of the 50 period. At least at a bare minimum, personally, I'd wait till this prior high gets tested to see if it turns into support. But the Oracle's not looking good. Remember, this is the gap from that crazy guidance that they gave, all relying on OpenAI a while back that happened, well, I can check, it's right here on September 9th. So it's unwinding all of that move. I could see it coming all the way back in. Like everyone, to me, this was probably the move that was the most symptomatic of what people were calling like the circle jerk AI thing. Like you could throw out, okay, NVIDIA this, NVIDIA that, but really like the Oracle one with OpenAI was probably, I think that was more egregious than anything else. So I'd be waiting for it to try to fill in this gap personally. And someone I know was also skeptical was who we're going to right now, that's Adara.
We're going to start here with CVU Aerostructures. This one has about a 9.2 million share float. And CPI Aerostructures this morning, CVU is the ticker, actually receiving a contract of structural assemblies from Raytheon Missiles and Defense. So Raytheon deal here for CVU, sending this one higher. Then we have Intensity Therapeutics, INTS. This one here with some typical pharma type news, receiving, I guess, a publication there of its INT 236 clinical results in e-biomedicine. So I guess the results of one of its studies being published here, good look for INTS. And last but not least, CMBBM CMBBM. This is a holdover from yesterday. CMBBM trading higher yesterday, at least to start after announcing that they're integrating one network platform with Starlink, of course, run by Elon Musk. So interesting look there for CMBBM. This one you can find as well in our morning Trader TV live watch list. Now, before we send you back to Sean and Neil for more trading action, we're going to take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. For too long, trading meant risking your own money. We're never having enough to start. The fear of losing. That's what kept so many traders on the sidelines, but that is now changing. Trade the Pool is changing or transforming how traders access the markets. With its limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit the profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. Back to you.
You almost forgot about it right there. All right, thanks to Dara for that one, and thanks to Trade the Pool. So we have Palantir longs. We're going to hit the sirens upside now because we took it. We just got a couple outs. There's a couple bids, a couple outs. I don't know if you can see, but there's 2 outs right there. One at 196.80, one at 197. Off of basically we have 2 bids as well, off of a 196.50 bid. So we're long right now, 196 right here. So if you like it, you can grab it with me. I already took out a little bit on the top, and I'm only playing to that wick. Like if the futures want to go down, we already missed. I missed 2 trades. I missed this one short at 200, which as this was happening, we were on it, so it's not like it wasn't obvious. But I didn't like that momentum back up there. I thought it could carry through on this huge momentum name, but we were wrong on that one. Now the momentum's going down. So I remember we're playing off that wick. If it breaks it, then we're gone on Palantir. So right now we're long at 27s. Let's put an offer here in the 40s. Let's put an offer here in the 60s. And then if it keeps on going back up to the upside, then good on us. There we go. We'll take a 39. And then now we're waiting in the mid 40s. Hopefully we get that up. Just a small little chipping away, right? We're just adding to some of the damage, some of the profits that we've already had here in order to avoid some of that collateral damage on going longs today. That's for sure. Miss a TQQ short, miss a Palantir short. Let's see though now if it can settle down a bit. I'm not going to give things to the bottom again. I mean, the pedigree of this market is to tank, right? And right now that looks like that's what it wants to do. So we're just not going to throw away too much here, as it doesn't look like Palantir. Pedigree, yeah, that's a great closing move there, great finishing move, the pedigree. I love Triple H. I really love DX. I know you did too.
Super underrated.
There, so now he is the president and general manager of the WWE. Okay, there goes Palantir. Huge move. You should watch that, by the way, on Netflix. It's called Outside of the Ring or something like that. If you like Triple H, you will become like a fanboy.
It's on my list.
After
I have so many things on my list on Netflix.
You see the way he treats like his employees and everything?
What is the name of this company? CMBBM, whatever the heck it's called.
Here, I'll tell you.
Remember I said I'm going to go long if it goes above VWAP?
That was CMBBM. You nailed it.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah,
I never get
CMBBM, yeah.
I literally never. You can mark that down. That's the first time I've actually nailed the company name of one of these small caps when it's the first time I've looked at it. Usually I'll completely butcher it because I've never heard of it till today. But I tried it off VWAP. It did the close over VWAP. I'm like, okay, you know the standard play. Bounce odds, volume weighted average price, put my stop at the prior low. It was holding, and then it did this little bit of a candle. So I understand that I get it. It's got support down here at $5. That's not a terrible idea. I just prefer to take the shots at the volume weighted average price, where I kind of have an idea where I'm working into and I can give myself a bit of a tight stop. This is one I'm willing to, as long as it holds upper plane, I'm willing to get into it multiple times here. But with not getting anything short on that curl, thank you very much, SMCI, I'm looking for something else. Like nothing's really setting up that I like, and this was holding the volume weighted average price. I'm gonna look for some other ones that might be as well. It's worth watching. I just saw someone in the chat mention that cores. Like cores going red.
That's strange.
It is a bit strange because the whole notion was that everyone thought that it was a bad deal for them. What are you doing? And it's got a pretty solid trend to it. I'll keep it up. It's got a 20 bottom on it almost exactly. That's another one worth watching. But I'm kind of hoping Cambrium, and now I'm only going to say the name, which is weird. I'm kind of hoping this one can regain the volume weighted average price. Its volume is over 100 million. I feel like it's got so much room. Even if you got halfway to the high, you'd still be talking about like 70, 80 cents. Okay, like 10 to 15% that you could grab if this holds VWAP to at least a reasonable target there. So I want to give it every chance to work. Unfortunately, looks like Meta's starting to give up the bid.
Is it finally? Oh no.
I only have a few stocks
will
up.
Be happy. Actually, I think Sharif said he bought some. I'm not.
Oh, he bought or bid?
Bought. Okay. If they're going to talk about it on the midday, I only said that. I mean, I'm not talking about other people's positions, but he had mentioned it, that he had liked the dip buy. He mentioned it on the show. He was cheering when it went down. Yeah, Oracle was another good name there, but right now it's spin the money. Because this is real life right now. As we short, we go long, sorry, on Palantir. Palantir is probably, for me, in the long-term account, I think Nvidia being up the percentage that it's up in the account is probably the biggest trade. But since I've actually had real money, and bought Palantir 4 or 5 years ago on the direct list, this is probably as far as like a trade, my best one. But I think percentage-wise, it's going to be Nvidia. But Palantir just, buying this at 920. We had someone yesterday say they've got some at 6 or 7. I think I have a fill around there too, but definitely not not as much shares as I should have down near those levels. But yeah, there goes Palantir. Let's go, man. We're just doing it again right now on PLTR. So just trying to stay in our lane again, you know, finding key levels, finding strong names, looking for stocks that, you know, we know have pedigree to do things like this. We just got out another piece of Google right now as well. It's not doing anything. I'm going to use this 286. If we break below 286, let's just put this in right now. So I'll cancel my 75-cent stop here on this $8.50 winner, but 285.99. We'll just get out of that. If it happens when I'm swimming, it happens when I'm swimming. Yesterday we were on the ellipticals. Okay, we're going to get out another piece right here on Palantir, and yeah, that's that. So yeah, trading has been very, very good to me lately, and I think it's been good to everybody if you've been long. Not this morning though. The shorts printed for all of y'all, but there it is, man. It's been a really great day, and I've only traded 2 names, and I know you've traded a few as well. And IBIT, I think, is one that has been disappointing. Okay, now Palantir's starting to go. Let's see, man, if we can really get this thing mooning one more time now. So total 950 in the money, but this is a new position, man. Now 80 cents upside on this one. So far so good on PLTR.
But I could take that same trade and IBIT 15 times and be green. That's the thing. Like, this is the thing about today. Like, it just on like Meta and Alphabet for me. Like, I won't have a loss on a momentum stock that's half of what I made on those this month, and because you don't get that type of volatility, so like the opportunity's out there, and I got out halfway, right? It's just a matter of like risk to reward. So I'm still looking at CMBM, which is potentially getting back above this $6 level and trying to go. Could be on the upswing, which is a little bit better than buying that initial dip. But the other thing that's worth watching, I said silver was going to be a potential play on any kind of a dip. Well, silver made a top and it's starting to pull back. So I didn't want to buy the high. Like, I like the long. I want to go for the long, but I'm not going to sit there buying the top. Got to wait for that entry point. We talk about patience all the time, but this morning, wait in. Wait in. One level, and I'm looking for that same thing here on silver. Like, to try and peg that turn, maybe it's the prior high in VWAP. Maybe it's right here.
Oh, boy.
But I need to see it first so we can get in, and then just make sure we get that one shot in.
Yeah. There goes Palantir. This has been a day. I know I sound like a broken record, but like, I have to talk about my trades. So there it goes, man. It's a monster. So whatever, we'll just leave it for now and do something else. Okay. So Alibaba 175, again, you know, possible level there. I don't know, down 2.5%. Some of the Chinese stories here today as we look about rare earth USAR. This could be another one here, we saw them bleeding a little bit, and we had Raheem on yesterday, you know, talking about rare earth, and I know that you're taking some stabs on MP as well. Today might be a day to stab even more because, I mean, USAR
my
is down.
second bid's not even close.
No, MP's not down. It's not down as much.
Yeah,
I thought MP would have been down. It's not.
It didn't fall enough to get me filled.
No, it's not there yet. MP, and then the other one is LAC, Lithium America. Of course, that's going to be another one of those plays. Wow. All right, guys, we're now starting to go, like, this is starting to become a serious position now, as there goes Palantir through the moon now, $1.20 upside. But yeah, I'm going to get another out at 47s, and there it goes again. So wow, this is just really starting to become something. And we're, again, like, what's the key word, man? Patience. We wrote it down. Wait for it. We were mad that we missed the short. But look what happened, man. We got right back in to maybe a better trade, and that is the long. So, yeah, things printing over here for your guy as we continue to go now. $1.50 in the money here, $9 in the money here, and we just keep on going, man. Neil and silver, I like that one. And we also talked about gold making moves higher. Thank you, Cabbage Trader, as well in the chat, man. We love that. We love you, Chase the Packs. Thank you so much. I mean, everybody, you guys can see the trades that we both have on all the time. And I think that that's what's important about the show. Everybody's going to have their own stuff on, and we just want to thank everybody for the ideas that you guys are giving us in the chat and for your kind words. So thank you so much to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, what I also love about the chat is the ability to cover more. The community is what it's all about. You can't see every stock. You can't have every filter to see whatever is moving. But when I see everyone in the chat mentioning Tesla, even if it doesn't make the board, that's a great bottom. I'm a little surprised that Tesla got down to 444, but this looks like a great trend break on Tesla. So You know the style of trade that I like. I just got into silver in what looks like a trend break, but you're all red. Like, look at the red candles in here. You even close above 445 here. It might even be worth a nibble at 445 and then maybe taking something after it closes the next candle, like somewhere in here, but just give it to the prior bar low. Like, if you like trend breaks, that's what I'm looking for. Like, you could get in down here or something like that, but that's the first green candle. If we're gonna go upside from here, I can just go prior bar low, give myself a defined stop, and then look for that top. And this is what it's all about. Like, sometimes it's an idea that you saw before. A lot of times you'll find yourself in an idea that maybe it's a stock I wasn't looking at, but it's a setup that I like. And at this time of day, like, I find myself always looking for mean reversion trade. So there's your close above. I'll look to get another entry on this candle if that's possible. You never really know if you're going to be able to get filled, but I'll throw it in there and see if we can get it. And then it's a play back into 450. Like, I'll treat this the same way as Meta, treat it the same way as Alphabet, and see if this mean reversion works as well. Unique trading group, yeah, I hope that's true. And this is the reason for the show was so traders could benefit from everybody's experience. Like, that was kind of the idea. Trading is lonely. Like, you sit there in front of your own screen with your own keys and your ideas and your executions. But on a trading floor, which is what most of us experience, like myself and Sean and a lot of traders here at Real Trading, you're able to bounce ideas off. You can shout out things are happening, and you have this like community that's with you. And not everyone has that when they're trading at home online. To be able to get that group experience, I guess, is the best way to put it. And it's like win, lose, or draw. Like, the thing you'll notice for myself, right? Like, I come into Tesla, this is my plan. I'll tell you exactly where my stop is. I'll not hold past my stop, and I'm not going to get emotional about it. Because here's the way I try to look at it. I said this for the lesson of the day. Similar setup off 280 in Alphabet. If I take this and it wins or loses, I feel the same way about that trade that worked as I do about that trade that didn't work, because it's the same thing. Meta was the same thing as well. Like, sometimes you get in on that turn, there's a second entry. This is actually, the Tesla one's more akin to Meta. There's a stop. If it runs a stop or it goes, it's binary at that point. You've already paid your ticket. To me, it's like going to watch a game. Like, if I'm going out there to watch a game thinking I'm going to enjoy it, I don't know what kind of a game the Jays are going to play. Maybe it's going to suck and I'm not going to enjoy it. But I paid my ticket. That's the same thing for the trade. I paid the ticket for the mean reversion, and whether it wins or not, win, lose, or draw, it doesn't make a difference at that point. But as long as you have an idea, I think you're okay. I have to go back and manage silver because this is a bit of a different trade, and they just tried to lit grab this. And when I say liquidity grab, from long here, obviously the prior high is way down at VWAP, but I don't want to give it too far into the volume weighted average price. Like, to me, that's just a little bit risking too much. The high of the day is not even 1-to-1. So I got to watch it pretty closely. When they lit grabbed it, I was able to get a little bit more. So now I can throw the stop underneath this prior low. So now I have a stop underneath the prior low, looking for a hunt to the high of the day on silver, looking relatively strong. The other side of the silver and gold would be the same way. Bit of a bounce from that big time pullback. You look at what's going on with silver, you look at what's going on with gold, you had a heavy pullback, they're trying to bounce back. So I do like the overall momentum as well. Well, I just saw Palantir in the chat as well. Yeah? Well, I know not. I don't know. I'm calling out because I knew you weren't sitting there a second ago. I know you're in it, so. No, nothing was happening. No. It just got to an even dollar and looks like maybe somebody probably flashed at the even dollar or something like that.
Yeah. All right, Sharif just came back and said that it's pouring out, so I'm not happy with that one because I gotta make a 5-minute walk. Today? Yeah, it's supposed to rain all day today and all day tomorrow. Thankfully, we do have the dome.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, but still, it's I
don't know if it's going to be raining. I shouldn't say all day. It is supposed to rain today and tomorrow, but for Halloween.
No, because I don't. It's not the game I'm concerned about. It's trick or treating in the rain.
That's what I was gonna say. We literally have a dome, but and they don't open the dome anyways for these games unless it's
way too cold.
They really got to lax those rules. They got to fix those. The dome is such a better experience open than closed. It's not even.
I agree.
It's like not even.
The players actually like the hit with the open roof as well. Too.
Yeah, Neil. What you might have saw on Palantir was a $2 winner. So there's the face slapper right there. We got 198s out right there on PLTR. So that was a good one. 197.85. We just got out, and now we'll take another out as it comes back into VWAP right there. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to stare sort of a gift horse in the mouth to take one of Neil's lines, but at the end of the day, which you haven't used in probably 3 years, but we do have to take profit sometimes. And so I'm going to start to do more of that right now as the market just faded off of the 50-period moving average and did not get into VWAP. So we're going to go 2 for 2 huge today, like real big. We're now at 2 times our goal for the day, so that's going to be good. And all we did was take Google long, and we were wrong. We were wrong early on this one, but just like we said, you know, we just got out. You can't hold things that far against you. I don't care what share size or whatever you have. If it keeps on dripping against you, you got to get out and regroup. So we got out for some profit spots, and then eventually it broke lower. And we could sort of sense this. We were saying as this was happening, Google's going to break. It's no buys. Eventually, we were able to find something down there at 280, and then, you know, the rest, as someone says, is history. And then there it goes, Palantir. We'll wait to see if we get a March of 2 bills right now on that. And if we do, then good on us for that. I'm still going to keep this as an out. I only have now 20% left on this trade. Actually, 70, 80. I have about 25% left or so on this trade right now. So I think we did pretty good getting out, you know. A little scary for Palantir today as it's bounced off of 200, so we'll see if it can hold. Eli Lilly has been a little disappointing. Okay, now it's back up, so that's good. It was near the bottom the last time I looked, and now we get like 10 straight up candles, so that is good. And the other name that I'm a little bit worried about, but not really worried, and I was just walking around the office, I'm getting a lot of like, everyone's like, wow, what kind of Blue Jays jersey is that one? This is an old school Blue Jays jersey, which I gotta fix my mic on there right now. SoFi does make a dip down into $30 again. I think if there's any name that I want to dip by, it will be SoFi. I want to get more financials in the portfolio right now. I own some Canadian banks and then JP Morgan. And then other than that, like no Robinhood, some Webull, but that's not a bank. And then SoFi would be the next one that I'm looking to acquire. So if SoFi does do that, but yeah, man, so far so good. Neil's still on that IBIT again. He's on silver. I'm on Palantir and Google here. And the day is just getting started because in 20 minutes, we do have our midday madness with Mr. Joey and Sharif. But we will look right here, figure out how many of you are actually subbed right now. So 21.1. Good reading. 21.3% right now unsubscribed. So make sure if you are watching, hit that like and hit the subscribe. I mean, if you're here for trading, I gave them to you. If you're here for good talk, Neil's here. If you're here for Blue Jays jerseys, I'm here. If you're here for options and news and everything, these guys got it. We got Adair on the desk. I think we've got everything for you all wrapped up in one. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, and make sure you guys come back here every single day. And we will go to Adara, and then we'll talk about, oh, here, I mean, we'll just pull this up right here quickly. What's up, Rattle? You discovered us about 10 months ago. So it's early bird being in California, but we want to appreciate you for doing that, man. That's another one of our great viewers there. So we'll celebrate that. Have a glizzy, man. We'll take that $5 and buy a round of glizzies around here. But there it is, man. It's a hot dog kind of day right now in here. Thank you so much for joining, and we're going to go over to Adara.
Take a look here at this sector board. Now, of course, we know the Nasdaq decently red here, and it's certainly pretty obvious if you look here at electronic technology and tech services where a lot of that weakness is coming from. We have Broadcom down 2%, Broadcom down almost 3%, Nvidia down 2%. Boeing on day 2 earnings down almost 5% here. Now, tech services really weak as well. Microsoft and Meta both reported earnings, both red, especially Meta here. Oracle to the downside as well, but Google up 5%, trying to buoy the sector. We know that OGL also had earnings, a little bit better received than the other 2 Meg 7 names that reported last night. ServiceNow also doing well here on earnings. Now let's move away from tech because a lot of these other sectors are quite obviously strong. Eli Lilly is actually a little bit lower than its initial earnings reaction, but still up 2.5% here on earnings. The whole health tech sector looking pretty good. Finance really strong. Utilities very strong. Producer manufacturing, consumer services. Health service is a little bit weaker here. UNH leading the group to the downside, and we have some mixed performance here in retail trade. CVS to the downside, and Amazon going to be, or sorry, that's not CVS. That is going to be, but that is CVS here. That is to the downside, and Amazon to the downside as well. They're reporting earnings tonight alongside Apple. So mixed performance. Actually, a lot of things strong here other than tech. Back to you.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of things strong other than tech. And one of them, it's deceiving. I've always said that there's a stat that you should use, which is don't look at a stock's percentage up from the prior close, but look at it from the open. Now, Starbucks is green, but if you look at it from the lows or from the open, it's a much more impressive day. It's like a 3% day instead of like a 1% day. And this one, like I was favoring shorts this morning, but it is what it is. It was built differently. Sometimes let the stock tell you what to do. It was trending up going into the open regardless. I think sometimes that can be a bit of your guide. Ooh, it looks like IBIT might be trying to go. I was just on Starbucks, so I have to give you a second. Looks like we're going to VWAP and busting through. And again, playing the volume weighted average price. If it breaks it, I get out. I don't mind getting back in. We'll see if we get another opportunity at this. This was the only, like I said, the only name that I really like short, so I took a couple of shots at it. It might be breaking higher, not the name that I like for the long. Someone asked me if I was going to reload Meta or go back into Meta at 650. Remember, I don't like, it's a capitulation bottom is different from just going in front of it because it's support. So that's not my cup of tea. Like there's your capitulation bottom, you take that trade. Now I was looking for this trend break, which is going to be at VWAP anyway. So this could close breaking the trend line, and then that gives me a setup to get into the trade. So it lets me know how I'm going to structure it, which is close the bar above, see some kind of maybe it's a clean consolidation, like something like this, above the volume weighted average price. Ideally, that's what we'll be able to see. And if I get that, we go. Or I just simply join a trend, like what I'm doing with silver. If it starts trending higher, then look for a pullback, look for some kind of a support to form, go long in the support, and then just join it higher. Like that's the kind of idea that I'd look for overall in Meta. That said, I don't think Meta's out of the waters here. Even if it bounces today, remember, again, ball don't lie. They took this down 11% on great revenue growth, good guide. There was obviously that big tax hit, the $16 billion, and the market ignored what was said on the call when they said, hey, taxes are going to go down because of this bill in the long term. Well, did that bounce the stock overnight? It didn't. So unfortunately, the market's not really telling you a good story with these Meta earnings, despite the fact that I like it as a long. So I think remember, this is just a day trade here. I still think you put the 2 or 3 day rule on this one. Like I'm not going to bid this stock until at least next week in my long-term account. I am buying the dip after earnings, but not till next week at absolute bare minimum.
Okay. All right, let's look at that CoreWeave deal, CRWV, terminating that deal. We're $11 in on these two names, so hopefully you guys have some of these, and if not, all good. We're going to look at something else. Yeah, so CoreWeave, that now getting with CORZ, CRZ, now being terminated, it doesn't seem to be doing anything to the stock whatsoever right now. So I don't know, and that CORZ also trying to fall back in a little bit, but not much going on. I thought this would have been better. I may start buying some of this name soon in the portfolio, so we'll see. But I gotta do some research on that one. Look, a name that I've been getting in on and getting out on, as well as Marvell in the longer term. I really like that trade. We did get some out up top, which was good. Did not buy that dip down to 80. Wow, like that's 10% in 4 days as well for Marvell. So that really made up and down bottoms there. But you know, the stocks that have been really mooning today. Look at JP Morgan. What in the okay right now, big time movement there for JPM, right? So just another interest rate cut, another bank that likes it. We can check out some of the others here, including Goldman Sachs. If you are going to get that OpenAI deal, obviously Goldman Sachs, they're an investment bank, is going to like and appreciate any talk like that as we get right back up to the highs again. Therefore, this name 740 bottom there for GS, a great opportunity to grab some Goldman Sachs at any level right now. WFC, they had their restriction lifted and they had a 7% move on their earnings day, and look at them today too. So everything getting lifted here in the financials except for, unfortunately, our good friend SoFi, which is going the other way. Major bank, this is why diversification is so key, because you get a little bit of that growth play here with SoFi that can do moves like this, go from 16 to 32. SoFi can double themselves up from July 1st, right? JP Morgan's not doubling. They're just a little bit more consistent of a climber, but if you're playing a growth name, then we do have to say we like some SoFi. Tonight we have LUMN, of course, Lumen Technologies. They're going to be reporting tonight. They have a tie-up there with Palantir recently. Sent this name to the moon as well. Go Palantir. We still love that stock. Oh boy. But that's a good move there. And then I thought we had some news about DJT over the last couple of days. Again, there today. Yeah, the prediction markets, of course, predicting.
Pumped and dumped.
Yeah, exactly. So not much going on there with DJT today, but it's looking like it's at a pretty key level right now of $15. And if we break below that, then you say, oh boy, to that one, and we give a shout out to Obi, because if it breaks right into there, then you don't have much protection left other than what was going on last September, where we dipped down into 12 before doing this.
Well, don't forget $10 on that, maybe.
Yeah, $10 could be good on a SPAC, but I don't think, it's 15 now, so 10 gives you quite a hit waiting for that, but that might be something there. Then, yeah, NAVN, maybe I will participate today in the NAVN IPO.
It's so tiny.
But it's not a big one. We're having a
Do you have
really
the locator up?
great day.
It's
I don't know.
It's so small, it's not even at the top of the locator for size. So if I should sort it by time, and then you can see it's like 80,000 shares to buy. 80,000 shares to buy at an auction price of 26. I'm not taking the opening print if it's going to be that small open interest, and it's 25, and it's only coming out $1 higher. That's not going to be an auto open for me at all. So I might trade it if I see something after the open, but unless something changes dramatically, I'm not going to take the opening print on it. Took another shot at Cambrium here, as it was strict downtrend. There's the break of the trend. Give it to the prior bar low. Again, tight risk. I mean, it's $1 to VWAP, so if I can risk 10 to 15 cents, that's kind of what I'm looking for in these types of plays. Nothing's going to be like the open. And if it can't hold 5, I said 5 was the next place to go if it's not going to be VWAP, so took the shot in there. Silver is doing that slow matriculation to the upside after its parabolic move. So now it's got a little something distinctly different, right? So kind of bought whatever the consolidation was, but there's your breakout. There's your first dip, and now it's holding this dip. So now I have a trend line to work off of for silver. Once you break out the high of the day, if it can hold the trend after a high of the day break, then I'll re-enter and what we got out, and then just continue to work it higher. At the end of the day, the stock, well, it's got a target on it at about 44.80, and then from there up, you're filling in the gap. So about 60 pennies or 50 pennies to 60 pennies till you get to that high. And I now have an idea exactly what I want to see to add to the position. Don't have to worry about VWAP just yet for silver. If you're trading this, probably worth an idea. You want to keep your eye on gold. Generally, I let the chart and the levels work for me and the trend line, but I am watching gold. If I see this completely breaking down, I can always just punch out myself or maybe take some profit off, because silver is stronger than gold at the moment.
Madeira, I think soon.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
US dollar continuing on this uptrend. We actually broke out briefly earlier that previous resistance level around 99.5 that we made on Thursday, October 9th. Let's see if we can continue to push higher here and break out on the USD. Now, yesterday's reaction here was positive to the FOMC rate decision to cut rates by 25 basis points, but we certainly didn't have this, I think, intense reaction that we had during the last FOMC meeting, where it briefly made a new low of year and then pushed right back to the upside. I do want to talk about, speaking of the FOMC decision, about the CME FedWatch tool. So right now, after that rate cut that we had yesterday, we're seeing a almost 73% chance of another rate cut at the December 10th meeting. Now, this is up slightly from yesterday, the initial reaction of 66.6%, but it's well below last week's expectation here of a 91.1%. So why is this rate cut expectation, I guess, so tame compared to yesterday. Well, that's because Fed Chair Powell out and out told people that there's no foregone conclusion that rates will be cut in December. In fact, he actually said that it's far from the case that rates will definitively be cut in December. You could argue that he's trying to tamper expectations, but a lot of people read it as a bit more hawkish than that. And it's interesting as well, we were expecting, if anything, potentially 2 dissents, 1 or 2 dissents to the dovish side, and we got 1 dissent to the dovish side, but we also had 1 hawkish dissent as well, with Fed Schmidt just voting in favor of holding rates where they are. So long story short, I think this FOMC meetings and this Fed rate watch tool is going to be very interesting heading into that December 10th decision. Back to you.
Probably not the last we've heard of it from the president either, because I would imagine that type of language is not going to make him happy. And they're doing interviews right now, which we do know. Got to be doing some interviews for the next Fed chair.
Right. Yeah. See who that's going to be. Probably someone pro whatever Trump's ideas are, which is fine. He can appoint them, and that will be that what it is. I think it's a 4-year term. I don't know. Adair, do you know how long the term is for the new Fed?
So for the Fed chair, it's usually 4 years, and then it can be renewed if you want another 4 years. That's how Fed Chair Powell's initial term, 2018 to 22. Biden renewed it 22 to 26, and so it's a 4-year term.
Okay. So the new Fed will be there. Is it impossible that he keeps Jerome Powell? Probably, right?
No.
I mean, I don't know if there's odds.
Well, I respect the betting markets.
On call sheet.
I respect the betting markets. It's a 50% chance that it's a Kevin.
Yesterday. Oh, it's a Kevin. Oh,
because Hassett's number 1.
Oh, you have it up right there.
Yeah, I was I knew this was going to come up.
Yeah, so Powell's not even on there.
No, like Hassett's number 1, and then Warsh, so that's like 52%. Waller's up there, Besant. Stephen Marin's only down at 6, and Bowman's at 5. When Powell's on, like he's here, but it looks like my guess is that nobody's even making that bet. Ron Paul himself? Now there's a bunch of other ones that have no chance, but it looks like Hassett or Warsh, which I'm pretty sure that's the same thing it was a couple weeks ago as well. So not much of a change, despite the fact they're doing the interviews as we speak. Right. The market's getting back to the lows here. Yeah, it looks like. Unfortunately,
falling down a little bit. We've given a little bit back on. I mean, we're not giving anything back on Palantir. It has fallen down. I was just going to say, right now we are in day 30 of the government shutdown. So 2 more weeks, according to Kalshi, is all, and then that will get settled. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks we do get government back working again, and helping, support everybody that deserves. It's not, government workers, no one's fault, obviously, not their fault anyways, that they've been either furloughed or, laid off or anything like that, or shut down during this time. And I just hope that all those paychecks continue to get delivered, and everybody that's waiting for it, I hope it gets settled immediately. Because I did see something about it, maybe potentially I was watching last night, like a food crisis. There was some like food stamp stuff that was supposed to go out either today or over the weekend or something. So I just hope it all gets settled, obviously for everybody. So, thoughts for everybody there. And thoughts over there, Joe, to Jamaica. I wanted to say, I don't know if you had any family members over there, Joseph, but that were affected by it, but prayers for that. I saw some videos there. Looked pretty devastating for sure, but I feel that at least it was known. So hopefully the human casualties hopefully were a little bit less, if
still
any.
Some, but there's a limited amount of preparation that reality can happen in the islands, but
at least that's what I was saying. Like you can't really. We got some videos. Your house is built the way it's built.
Yeah, we got some videos from family friends, but I know Joe didn't answer now, but when the storm was first coming, I asked him, and he said, well, most of his family was sort of out of the way.
So that's all.
Because Jamaica's, the island's not big, but it's large enough that it's not like it was devastation everywhere. Like, there's certain smaller islands that hurricane hits and that the whole island's at risk, right? But not.
Didn't one of those hurricanes recently just completely destroyed Puerto Rico, one of the last ones, right? They didn't have power forever. Yeah, that was one that went landfall in the United States. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, okay, so people asking about Navin again. So Navin's going to be a new IPO that hits the market today. I don't know, again, it's a travel. Whoa. I like that. We've showed that a couple of times. The egg avoids gravity in that picture. Right there. The egg is above Sharif's shoulder. Put that back there, Andre. When I'm talking about the stock, we put that up. When we're talking about this, we put the stock up. There it goes. The egg going over the shoulder. No, you put this on by mistake. Oh, I like this picture. So anyways, yeah, there it is. So eggs just projecting upwards. Okay, so right here, Navin, 25.75. I know there's a lot of you looking at it. I am going to see if I can get to the gym and do some swimming. And if I come back and there's some interest in Navin and it hasn't opened yet, then maybe we'll look at it. But I don't know, man. With the market down today 1%, day after Fed, I don't think it's a perfect storm to take this. You know, like when Circle came and we hit that, and when Klarna and all that, a little bit of different feel than I'm seeing for Navin. I don't, again, it's not, I know it's a kind of a tech name, so there is a very good potential that this goes higher. You know, for example, if I'm taking 1,000 shares on Klarna, I would take like maybe 250 or something on this one. Like I do not, just to try to give you a scale of confidence. It's just not coming with as much fanfare as the others. And I think that that's something that, oh, there it is. Hurricane close. Maria says chase the packs in Puerto Rico. So, but that's what's happening there in Navin. So I'm going to, yeah, Neil just mentioned it's not even close. So I don't even want to think twice maybe about taking it. Oh, Neil, I know we got to go to you, but just real quick, because if we don't do this, then, you know, it is in the contract to do this. This is what's for lunch. All right, yesterday was pretty good. We didn't have many people around here. We had some chicken, although it was dry.
I was going to say, I didn't like it, actually.
Yeah, I liked it because I mixed it with the noodles and the salad and kind of had like a bowl kind of going on. That's what I do with the salad anyways. Ooh. Hey man, it beats the beef bolognese that we had, where we got basically a tub of bolognese, and we had to pour it on top of the lettuce. I'm like, what?
That was a grit cheese needed because it's fuel.
But here we go. Today, I think we'll like this today. It's a stew, and it's of the beef variety. So we got beef stew, roasted veggies, seasoned veg, roasted potatoes, seasoned veg, and mixed green salad.
Time to eat more fruit.
I think it'll be okay. Beef stew.
You think so?
Why not? The country chicken was great, that last country chicken stew they had.
I tend to be skeptical.
Well, I don't blame you for being skeptical, but I'm trying to be positive.
No, when it's something we haven't had from them before, then I'm skeptical. But when it's
I'm more skeptical of stuff we have had.
I don't know what to get. I don't know what to expect with this.
I don't know what to, but that's why I'm positive. I'm trying to, you know, Neil, come on, man. I'm optimist, pessimist over here. Half glass full, my guy. There's a good chance.
I'm gonna keep it real. And,
so am I.
And most of the time the beef is not done well.
I think the beef is the best thing they do, but again, that's to each their own.
I guess so.
What do they do better? Fish?
No.
Chicken? You almost threw up yesterday.
No, the salmon they do well.
Nah, the salmon is hit or miss. The salmon is good, but it's much more hit or miss, I think.
Before we get out of here, I saw someone say something in the chat that I wanted to address, because someone said the DNMXU IPO was a dud. The DNMXU IPO is a SPAC. It's a SPAC IPO. So it's just at $10. And what I've observed is if it opens above 10, it's generally bullish in a sense. But like a SPAC without a deal, remember, this is just the combination that's happening here. And until they actually combine with a company, right, you just have the potentiality of it. This is what it looks like on a level 2. So I can tell you, like, yeah, for most traders, there is nothing to see here. But on these, you've got to think of it as more measured. For a stock like that to go up from 12 on an opening print to 14 or 15, I promise you this. If I take one of these SPACs one of these days, I'd consider that better than an IPO where you have no liquidity. Like there's like 500,000 shares that's on the bid of this thing. So you could get the opening print for a boat and just take it a couple of cents and get a good winning trade there. And when the Chamath one happened, that same setup gave you like 30 or 40 cents on the Chamath SPAC. So if a big SPAC opens up, I just care if it's above 10 and you can get a good risk to reward trade. But it's vastly different. It's not going to move the way that a regular IPO would, where it goes 10, 15%. You're looking for a much, much smaller move. But there's opportunities regardless. It just depends on your style. You're not taking 10 or 20,000 shares of a regular IPO because liquidity is a concern. There's no trader that I know that has a limit to liquidity on this because there's just a ton of it on this SPAC. So you have to think a little bit differently if you're trading one of these relative to a traditional IPO, let's just say. It is midday time. We'll be back at 2. Hopefully the beef is good. But we'll be
the wife just asked me what's for dinner. I just said don't do beef.
Not beef, yeah.
Yeah, because anything else, I just put that there.
It's football tonight.
In the chat, yeah, it's Ravens, Dolphins.
That's going to be a very bad game.
I think it could be a good
Lamar's coming back.
They didn't look good with Lamar.
Miami?
Miami never looks good.
I think Miami's going to have a problem.
But
I think that's going to be a problem.
All right. Yeah, it's 11:01. All right, good day today.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep halfway through that game.
Yeah.